Oh darling, if I had bought you flowers, would you still be here by my side? Yeah, I thought this moment could be ours, while I'm walking lonely through the night. You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay with him. Darling, if I had bought you flowers, what if you stayed at home the night? Yeah, I've been lonely counting hours, while I'm getting blinded by the light. You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay with him. Break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart.
Visions of you, You don't know what goes on behind these eyes. You don't know the loneliness hidden inside. You don't know I wanna eat you up alive. Come and get to know me, my type of wild. I'm the kind that spins you and hangs you dry. Well, I'm already on to another side. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black gold for your love. Cause I'm a black gold for your love. It's true, no, no, no. Everything they say about me, I'll suck you, no, 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 to my center of gravity. Cause it's true, no, no, no. Everything they say about me, I'll love you like a supernova, burned into you like a shooting star. Always craving for you to come to me. Though this way of life, no, it ain't healthy, but ain't no other way, it's just what I need. I want all your soul, I want your body. I'm the type that licks her play clean. Don't wanna let go, wanna you can eat. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black gold for your love. It's true, no, no, no. Everything they say about me, I'll love you like a supernova, burn into you like a shooting star. If you give me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. You might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black gold for your love.
Feel free, and I just wanna be me. Yeah, I just wanna go so crazy. I just wanna be a freak. Yeah, I just wanna rise to the top. Yeah, I just wanna go reach the peak. So I've been really well focused on success. Hey, y'all will see. Yeah, you won't see that I will get it. Cause I'm really focused, man. I make it with the rap and I just follow my path. I just follow my passion. To me, this is what's precious. Yeah, in my soul, man, I can feel it. So every single verse, man, I just gotta go and kill it, man. I gotta be the kid. I could be the guy taking you wild. I could be the villain, but that is okay. Lately I'm painting my path on my way. Yeah, I got no time that I can waste. So I've been sitting in the space. Yeah, making rest every day, man. You know that I go insane. Yeah, I hit you with a bullet to the brain. Let us stop first, cause we going insane.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to week 3 of the Vespertine Vantage Cup. today we'll be back with Group 1 again, so that means the familiar faces you would have seen in the first week. So going into that first game we have today is C9 Krog Academy versus, let me get this one right because there's two of them, Valkyrie, I believe, Valhalla. So looking at their standings here, let me pull that up for you. So looking at the standings here, Valkyrie Valhalla is currently sitting 1-1, C9 Krog Academy sitting 0-2. So they haven't won a match yet. Valkyrie probably not the hardest team in the group. They have shown promise. And they probably are the dark horse in this group, if anything. They're the ones that are probably people had least expectations going into, and now it's looking potential for them to maybe cause an upset. Do you think, Fuzz, just moving this one over to you, do you think that C9 can cause an upset tonight with that?
Out of all the games tonight, out of the 3 games that we have tonight, I have favorites, absolute favorites for 2 of them. Yeah, and C9 versus Valkyrie Valhalla is not one of them. I really don't know which way it could go. It's really hard for me to make a prediction on it because both teams seem to be, if I had to make a judgment, they seem to be pretty evenly matched. I think it would be a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's the thing. C9 Krog Academy had a bad game and they had a decent game. They definitely did show up just a little bit more than we expected. I think it was in week 1. And then in week 2, I'm not too sure what happened, but from what I saw on the stats, it wasn't too great for them. I don't have exactly who they played in those 2 games, but regardless, they did lose them both. So unfortunately, that's no wins for them, no points under their belt. But yeah, that being said, going up against Valkyrie, they had a great game. They had a reasonable game. Maybe C9 can pull that win. I do think Valkyrie's still going to be the favorite here. Moving into what games we have for the rest of the night, though. Let me just pull those up here. Okay, so going into game 2 for the night, we have Massive MT1 versus Weeknight Warriors. That's another interesting one, actually, because currently they are sitting at 2-0 for Massive and 1-1 for Weeknight Warriors. I would still say Weeknight Warriors are the favorites for me. Nothing against Massive. They've been playing great. They've been playing amazingly. I think Weeknight Warriors fumbled a little bit in their loss. And I think they might be, or I'm expecting them to kind of come back and hit even harder now that they've dropped that game.
100% agree with you. I think Weeknight Warriors probably have this one in the bag tonight. Massive has put up a really good performance so far, but I don't think it'll be enough to trump Weeknight, just for this game tonight.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see. Like I said, I can only imagine Weeknight Warriors are coming back harder than ever after, like I said, dropping that first game. They're not going to want to drop anymore, that's for sure. Especially with, an org that kind of prides themselves in having, their own tournament, their own team kind of being great. And of course, they want to show up. So I think they are going to show up tonight. And then moving into game 3 of the night, it is Hot Pot Buffet versus Avalanche Blue. So actually, this one's probably going to be the easiest game to predict of the night. I hope they prove me wrong, because I do like seeing some upsets. But that being said, Avalanche currently sitting at 2-0. They've looked flawless in their 2 games. Hot Pot sitting at 0-2. At the bottom of the bracket at the moment, alongside C9 Krog Academy. I don't know if Hot Pot has what it takes here. I think this is the one game that I'm myself am going to rule out. And if they cause an upset, that'll be great. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Avalanche have been dominant, as that just being the best word to describe them at the moment. Just completely dominant throughout all the games they've played this series. And tonight, I predict the same thing will be the case versus Hot Pot. As you said before, upsets do happen, and I really hope that it does tonight. We all love an underdog at the end of the day, but just based off of statistics alone, I think that Avalanche has this game tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. I will let everyone know going into the first game, as much as we hate to do this on stream, and I do apologize, we're working on getting a graphic for it just to set things up. We are unfortunately going through a pro draft at the moment, so we won't be seeing the picks in the orders that they will have actually occurred, which does suck, but we'll still go in, we'll analyze the picks overall, and we'll just go through kind of what teams are expecting to kind of get out of it. We can go a little bit more in depth, not needing to worry about the counter picks and more so just worrying about what they can do with those champs. That being said, they're getting very close to finishing up pro draft, so we're going to jump to a quick intermission really quickly, and we'll jump into champ select once that's ready. All right, we'll see you guys shortly.
See you then.
whatever. All this ever about you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your back, I disappear. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. And no man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away the weight of you, of my shoulders. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need a no man. Don't need a no man. Back and I'm better. You had to go back where you came from. Now you're bitter. Out of sight, out of mind for real. Yeah, I wouldn't wanna be you for real. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. No man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away. Do you?
Okay, sorry about that, folks. We had a small sound issue there, all sorted now. We were just mentioning really quickly, obviously, again, being a pro draft, a little bit all over the place. But that being said, Wukong, 100% pick ban if you want to go back into that one, Fuzz, and give your opinion on that, champ.
Well, yeah, you know, he's been meta for quite a while now, but you know, even after the durability patch, like his play rate's just only gone up. So I think it makes sense. We're gonna see lots of Wukong, you know, picks or bans moving forward.
Yep.
You know, we're gonna see lots of more scaling champions, more like DPS focused picks, as you know, like Burst has gone down in popularity since the durability patch, which makes complete sense.
Okay, on the topic of Burst, I see the Diana Yasuo combo here. Now, obviously, Yasuo with his armor shred, I believe he will be. He's viable in that sense. Diana, on the other hand, funnily enough, about an hour ago, I got done playing a Norms game where I just decided to play Diana for fun. She doesn't feel very good anymore, I'll tell you that. So what's your take on that pick specifically? Just because I've only had one game to experience it, but I'm not too fond of it at the moment.
I mean, regardless of Diana's burst, she's still going to have that AoE ulti impact that's going to set up the Yasuo R.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it should just be enough still, because obviously, you know, they didn't give people 100 MR and armor in the new durability update. You know, this combo is still going to do damage as long as it's executed correctly. But we're just gonna kind of need to see how many people Diana can catch with her R, as the, you know, whether or not it's going to be a good pick or not moving forward.
Now, I love the Teemo hover there just for the memes. Obviously, we knew we wasn't going to pick Teemo into support, but that's okay. Okay, let's just look at some of these matchups really quickly before we do load in, because I know this is going to end quite quickly, unfortunately, with the pro draft there. Ezreal, and I believe it is going to be locked in on a Bard. It is. There we go. So Ezreal, Bard, Nami, Samira. Not something... in fact, I don't think we've seen Bard throughout the whole tournament, and I haven't seen a lot of Bard at all recently. I imagine it means they're probably going to be looking to play reasonably safe with maybe some Bard roams against the Samira Nami. What's your thought on that one there?
I think Ezreal is one of the, you know, few ADCs that can really facilitate Bard's playstyle. You know, he has the ability to, you know, E back towards tower range. He can play a bit safer in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we are going to see is lots of, you know, jungle support roams coming out from from that team. Lots of lots of support roams. Bard is just kind of a champion that's built to be annoying, so I'm really excited to see it in these games because no matter what, whether it's a pro playing him or an amateur, he always looks really troll, and it's just really fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it's definitely amazing to watch, and hopefully he doesn't troll his team with any ulties. What I'm expecting here, just based on the picks, I imagine mid lane's probably going to be the priority for Valk. Just based on the fact, you've got a Fiora, you can get her a little bit ahead, but for the most part, she's likely going to be looking to split push when it comes to more to the mid game. So either you're going to get her extremely ahead and just rely on her, or you're going to get the Victor ahead. So I'm probably expecting helping the Victor scale. They're obviously going to be weary of the Diana Yasuo combo too.
When's the last time you saw a Shyvana top, Draz?
It's been a long time. Well, actually, now that you mention it, I think I had one in a game a couple of days ago. But outside of that, it's been a very long time. I haven't seen that champion much at all up until the recent patch, and I definitely haven't seen her top pretty much at all either.
Well, Shyvana, since the durability patch, has come to be one of the strongest junglers on the patch. I'm not sure how she will do on the top lane. I'm kind of hoping that she is a bit stronger than I'd expect because it always it makes me smile when I see really like goofy top lane matchups because top lane is just a role that feels really stagnant to play. Feels like you can't really have too much impact on the map. So the least you can do is give us like a little bit of a goofy display with a with an off meta pick and. I really appreciate C9 for doing that for us today.
Awesome. It should be very interesting. We've got that pick coming out from the top lane. We've got the Bard pick from the support. Hopefully it's a fun game. We're going to jump to intermission and we'll be back once we're in game very shortly.
You in my sight. I keep all of what you said to me. I get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, now you beg me please. Hey, now I stay away. You were never meant to save me. Now I stay away. I don't hear you say you're sorry. Hate I even love you. Hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I kinda fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I kinda fell in love with you. I'm in a night. Let's spark a light and see where it leads. Just you and me, hiding behind the curtain. A world so uncertain. Come and see where this leads. The circus.
Okay, and we're back in the game. We're into the first game, I should say. Looks like a standard 5-point defense coming out from both sides. Potential little skirmish up top between the Fiora and the Shyvana. They might just...
Shyvana opting for Ignite TP, a really greedy showcase coming from C9 so far, but if it works, it works.
Yeah, very good thing to point out. On the opposite side of things, in the bot lane, we've got Samira with the cleanse. Quite a common summoner spell to see taken on her. But of course, she doesn't want to get caught out. She doesn't want to die early and kind of give up that dominance that she can have. Some standard warding patterns it looks like, and was that a Diana reset for sweeper? No, yes, she did grab the sweeper. Okay, so Diana reset for sweeper, Hecarim reset for sweeper, or might have just started it, sorry. And it's going to be pretty standard from here on out, it looks like. So what?
Looks like we're going to see some, pretty standard pathing from both junglers. Looks like they're opting for like a full clear from bot side to top side.
Yep.
But I might be wrong. We'll have to see. They don't really seem like gankable lanes besides mid lane. At least in my opinion, Yasuo really often kind of like shoves lane in order to do poke on the enemy on his enemy laner. So it's going to put himself in a compromised position. Maybe Hecarim has a chance to capitalize on that. Maybe they're expecting it. We'll have to wait to see.
Yeah, so lane-wise, I know we went over it briefly in Champ Select. Oh, man, okay, a little bit of a freeze there, but we're good. We went over it briefly in Champ Select. Obviously, we've got Fiora, who's going to probably split push throughout the later parts, mid to late parts of the game. We've got the Bard, who's most likely going to roam. We haven't spoken too much about the side of C9, though, and a little skirmish happening down there. Nami losing half her health. What's your take on C9's approach to the early game here? What do you think they're going to be looking for?
Out of like their champions, I don't really see too many of them being able to. They're all champions that want to scale.
Yep.
But are still strong enough to make plays in the early game if they're forced to. I think the one lane that C9 could look towards would probably be, I'd say, bot lane or mid lane. I don't think Shyvana facilitates ganks very well, especially pre-6. She has literally no CC, no slows even to really help the Diana with any ganks that she wants to make. So I think that bot lane and mid lane are pretty much the only real, I guess, lanes that C9 can kind of use here, unless Fiora makes a gross misplay.
Yep, and Fiora did roam down. She placed a ward down towards Diana's blue buff over there. So they have vision on the Diana at the moment. They are aware of her clear. They more than likely at this point know that she's done a complete full clear, as has the Hecarim. And that means that they're most likely not going to be very vulnerable to this Diana for the time being. I'm not too sure we're getting a couple of freeze frames, so we do apologize for that one. But as long as it's not completely gone, we should be okay.
Yeah, as a jungle player, Draz, can you give me, how does the lowdown go in terms of between Hecarim and Diana? Like, what's that matchup like?
Yeah, so I'm actually not too sure if I've had that specific matchup, but I can say based on having played both of the champions, just from my point of view on how I imagine it would go. You've got Diana who kind of wants to farm up till, well, for the most part, farm up till 6, kind of start ganking. She's got a lot of pressure at this level 6. That being said, she doesn't do well into tankier champs. So I think matchup-wise... Oh, here we go.
Good gank happening in the mid lane. Exhaust coming down onto the Yasuo. He does get stunned, but he doesn't have to pop any stuns. So...
Yeah, very well played.
C9 coming out unscathed there.
Yeah, and they committed 3 people to that. So the jungler had ganked mid as well as the Bard roam up. Now, we're expecting Bard to roam, but we're also more than likely expecting them to get something out of it. The exhaust came out from Bard there, which isn't ideal. You may have...
Kind of getting some poke down onto the Bard. Maybe looking for the solo kill. I don't know if she can secure it with Hecarim being so close by, but he doesn't look like he's paying too much attention to it. It looks like Diana just walks out here. Yeah, they don't risk that.
Yeah, the rest of the team is still kind of following behind for backup. I don't think they're going to commit too hard here, though. But yeah, back to the matchup overall. I think, naturally speaking, Hecarim can be around the map just a little bit more than Diana, and Diana typically wants to look for those ganks when she hits 6. I think Hecarim's going to do a slightly better job at that. I think going into the team, Diana's really going to struggle to kind of burst them down. I think the only benefit Diana has in this matchup, in this game at least, is the fact that there's a Yasuo on her team. But besides that, I don't think the matchup looks great for Diana.
C9 starting the dragon looks like it could be a blunderous play for them. The enemy team moving in to capitalize on it, but it looks like C9 does in fact pick it up. Okay, cool.
There we go, and that's the first dragon for C9, Hectic Dragon.
Chain CC coming. Oh wow, Ezreal just did not. He
did not see that coming.
Opportunity to move at all there. Diana picking up another kill for C9. Samira just moving forward onto Victor, giving them no breathing room. They need to get under their tower and just go back.
Exactly right. So that was a dragon and a 2 for nothing from the side of C9 there. So Valk picking up nothing. Nice little stop on the back there from the Fiora. Just a little bit of BM.
Bit of a greedy place to go back there from Shyvana, but you know.
I mean, if they hadn't had the whole fight in the bot lane, you would almost expect it to be some kind of a bait, but obviously we know where everyone just was. Honestly, I think pretty big misplay from the side of Valkyrie to even try and contest that one. I just don't think they have that early game. I mean, both teams have scaling, but like we mentioned from the side of Valkyrie, they do have that early game presence with Diana's kind of being reasonably strong. Samira herself is just a strong champion in general, and they've got an enchanter support as well. Yet another greedy place to back there, so Samira will get her back cancelled.
Might have a play positioning herself behind the Shyvana, yeah, maybe looking for the dive. You see mid lane is here as well. Shyvana may be in a spot of trouble. Diana is there to prevent it. It looks like they're privy to the dive, but yeah, it looks like Valkyrie just moving away there.
Yeah, so C9 yet again kind of responding reasonably well to that. They had players in the positions they needed to be. I think with the Diana close and also being 6, it would have been a risky play regardless of the numbers advantage that Valkyrie had. So yet again, like we were talking about, we'd love to see a little bit of an upset, and this game might be the one for it, as we mentioned. Interesting play there. Oh.
The Yasuo committing to the all-in here, using Flash and Ignite on Victor. It looks like he just can't collect the kill though. Nami is mid to help crash that wave under the tower and make sure Yasuo's wave is bouncing back towards him, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be staying there or if he's going to be going back. It looks like Fiora coming to the all-in and ultimately dying versus the Shyvana top. I did not actually expect that. I really thought the Shyvana would not have much power in the 1v1, but wow, there's this plays being made across the map here. Looks like they're looking for the Bard now. Bard has no summons to escape. Yeah, wow, okay, he's gone down too. Looks like 3 kills heading over to C9. Or 2, sorry.
Yeah, and the system at 4-0 right now, which is a great look for them. They're 2.5k gold up. With their champions, like we said, both teams scale reasonably well, but they've used that early pressure that their team does have to kind of get ahead. And look, you can scale all you want, but when there's a scaling comp versus a scaling comp, whichever one kind of comes out ahead in the early game is the one that's going to really take the charge. And it looks like that's C9 right now.
Absolutely. I still think that Valkyrie has a win condition in Victor. If they can give him a couple of kills and get his Hex Core just kind of like started, you know, maybe he can turn some of these fights around as long as they position properly. But it just looks like they've been, you know, out-tempoed, to put it fairly, like at the start of this game.
Yeah, most definitely. Something we haven't seen come out of C9 Krog Academy just yet. And it looks like this maybe was their game to shine. They've gone back to the drawing board, and they revised the last couple of games. I'm sure they've had a little bit of practice, maybe a couple of scrims, and it looks like they have a clear goal in mind with this team comp. And hopefully that plays through, because I'd love to see that happen for them.
Yeah, you love to see it. Like I said before, everyone loves an underdog, so I'm more than happy to see this match go either way.
Yeah, most definitely. And I mean, both teams are great. I haven't had much interaction with C9. I can say that Valkyrie is a very nice org. They're great to talk to, and they make things nice and easy for us, so that's awesome. But yeah, no favorites here. I'm just happy to see how this game plays out. And
Looks like Valkyrie picking up the Rift Herald here. Hecarim just looking to escape. He can't take on Shyvana 1v1.
Oh wow, a lot of damage coming out from the Ezreal ulti just there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Ezreal ult, you know, as long as it's... actually, I'm not sure if they changed that or not. Does it still decay damage when it goes through other minions and entities? Or is it just flat damage all the way through now?
I can't say for sure. Sorry, give me a moment here. I've just noticed there's a small issue on the audio side again. See if I can fix that one up for everyone. Alright, feel free to keep talking. We have no issues with the audio in terms of clarity there. I just gotta fix something up really quickly.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we see, you know, just measly farming in the bot lane, and it looks like neither team really wants to engage in one another. Just kind of want to farm up themselves. Shyvana, you know, hard shoving these waves into Fiora. Fiora can't really do anything about it except just clear them. I don't think that Fiora has the facilities to 1v1 Shyvana at this point in the game, especially while she has Ignite and her ulti available. Oh, looks like Diana engaging onto the Hecarim here. Looks like Hecarim ults out, Diana uses ulti, and they get nothing for it.
Yeah, so what I want to take note of here is I've just had a quick look at some of their builds. Something that's a little bit maybe different, I guess we could call it. Maybe not to you, but just having played Diana myself, I don't normally go for the Nashes actually at all at the moment. It's not really part of her build typically. But she's gone for it. First item over here on Norca on the Diana. What's your take on that into this comp here?
Well, it makes sense to well, okay, it looks like Samira does pick up a cheeky little kill on Bard there while we're trying to discuss that. It looks like Victor is also going to be going down in the mid lane with just too much damage coming down onto him too fast. I don't actually think his flash was up there. But we'll have to maybe... Is the replay mechanic available for that fight?
I can have a quick look. It may have missed some of it. But you know what? We'll wait for this kill here, and...
Diana gets another kill onto Ezreal. Wow. Avalanche really struggling
C9?
to pick up the pieces here.
Oh, Valkyrie, sorry, yeah. A mistake there. We'll have a quick look. I can't promise that...
Oh, sorry, Valkyrie. Whoops.
No worries. I can't promise that it's going to pick anything up.
But in terms of the Nash's Tooth on Diana, it makes sense as far as the meta goes right now, with Burst kind of being not as good anymore. She's looking for more of a consistent damage build. However, her runes don't reflect that. She's taken Electrocute. I would understand more if she took maybe Conqueror. But it does make sense. It makes sense in my mind that she would be building Nash's Tooth over just going straight into Mythic, because there's no reason to.
Okay, replay feature bugging out just a little bit. We'll be able to sort that out as well.
Like Herald summoned top lane, some plates going over to Valkyrie here. Looks like Yasuo picking up another kill onto Victor. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of aggression.
A
lot of aggression coming out from C9. Like you just said, Valkyrie bleeding gold all over the map. We've got a 4.5k gold lead on the side of C9 Krog Academy. They're up 2 dragons as well. The only thing that Valkyrie's really done to combat that was get a single Herald, but I don't think that really made much of a point.
Like 2 ults coming down onto Fiora. I don't think she gets out of it. Oh wow, she does.
And
not,
she doesn't.
Actually, psych. Shyvana said psych with that one. You know what I was saying before, the goofy top lane picks? Maybe Shyvana isn't such a goofy pick after all. It looks like she's been putting down a lot of pressure onto Fiora, which I really didn't expect. Fiora is like one of those champions who's incredibly dominant in the 1v1. Shyvana's build does have something that, does factor into how well Fiora can do in the 1v1 here. The Bramble Burst and the Tabis and everything like that. But that being said, she's still absolutely dominating these early fights versus the Fiora. It's been really crazy to see.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. CS is reasonably even, but she is just ahead. She's going for a tankier build as well, which will play a bigger part in team fights than Fiora will, of course. It's quite an interesting comp coming out from the side of C9. They're making it work. And I honestly think if they keep this tempo up, this game won't be on for much longer.
Yeah, well, I was about to ask that. Do you think that there is a path to victory for Valkyrie here, or do you think that it's kind of just doomed at this point? Like, if so, what do you think the Valkyrie should be doing to win this game at the moment?
That's a very hard question. Like we mentioned, the strongest champ, probably late game in general, in both of these teams, is probably going to be that Victor if he can play his role correctly. That being said, there's a lot of work to be done to get him to that point, and with the advantage that C9 have at the moment, and like we mentioned, how their champions do also still scale. Kill coming out? Doesn't look like it. Oh, there we go. So he's
lots
just
of
down
damage coming out onto Victor. This guy has not been having a good time playing this game. He's had lots of people in his lane, and he's been bullied. He has been bullied.
So based on the way the game's playing out, I would say, yeah, Victor is their late game win con. Have Fiora in the side lanes, have Victor kind of almost count as 2 champions with the kind of AoE and the zoning and the poke that he can provide, right? I don't think they get to that point, though, honestly. I don't think there's much they can do. They've tried to save the Victor, they've tried to help him out. But C9's just done a really good job. I'd say a better job at playing to their win con, which is basically stopping that from happening and getting a lead in the meantime.
Absolutely. C9 looking just incredibly dominant this game. They've They've got no weak lanes. Every single lane has a lead, and it's going to be really, really hard for Valkyrie to deal with moving forward in the game.
Yeah, so we
see
see that the
another
gold lead.
Herald going over to C9 as well.
The gold lead is at almost 8,000, so 7,700 right now. There we go, we've hit the 8,000 mark. At 16 minutes, no less. So we're at 500 gold a minute ahead, which is quite a large advantage there, especially at this early in the game. I genuinely just think, a little bit of a troll Flask code coming out there, I genuinely think this game is, unless they make a huge blunder, it's entirely in C9's hands here.
Absolutely can't argue with that. We see Herald being dropped mid lane as the dragon spawns, hoping to draw Valkyrie's attention to the mid lane instead of to the dragon. It looks like a fight breaks out here instead. Shyvana coming down from the top, big ulti, putting lots of damage down onto Valkyrie. Looks like Hecarim actually manages to pick up a kill, but Diana is just too strong. She's taking out the back line, taking out the Hecarim as well, and now moving towards the dragon. Really, really sloppy stuff coming out of Valkyrie this game.
Yeah, it was great for the Hecarim to pick up that shutdown. It was a reasonable shutdown as well, but I don't think it makes much of a difference. Hecarim with a single kill isn't going to bring this game back. On the side of C9, they pick up 4 kills, they pick up their 3rd dragon, and that puts them at soul point at 17 minutes into the game.
So your big Bard ult coming out from Valkyrie here. We'll see if anything comes of it. Looks like both suns get popped by Samira. Fiora may be looking to move forward here, but she is very low on mana, and it is a 2v3, so I doubt that happens. They do push them off that second tier mid tower though, which is just the best they can hope for in that scenario.
Now, I will say the gold lead ticks to 10k at 17 minutes. I don't think anyone could have expected this. As we said, either team could win this game. I didn't think it would be to this extent though. Lucky on Samira getting that back off there. Or I mean, sorry, Diana, I think it was. But yeah, I didn't expect this, and I don't think really anyone would have. Again, coming from a team who's currently 0-2. But like I said, they've shown up tonight. Some teams, you know, they get that loss, they go back to the drawing board, and they stay determined and they come back, and that's what C9's done here with this game.
Absolutely, C9 have really pulled out all the stops, and all their laners have been performing beautifully this game. You know, they must have just sat down and done some hardcore coaching. You know, like say, hey guys, let's get our act together and let's win this 3rd game. And I don't know if they're planning to lose a game from this point onwards, but you know, C9's going to be a team to definitely watch out for the rest of this cup, I think.
Yeah, like we said, everyone loves an underdog story, and we'd love to have one in the tournament, so it'd be great to see them come back and perform like this again with the next game too, so fingers crossed. That being said, the game is not over. I know we're talking like it is, and anyone reasonably would think that's the case too, but it's not over until it's over, I guess.
Absolutely. We see Shyvana ult being popped under tower here. Fiora getting the parry off and stunning her, but it looks like, oh wow, it looks like Fiora does get out with her life. Exhaust coming down onto Diana on the opposite side of the map. Ulti coming out, she takes down the Bard. Hecarim she can't actually get through all of Hecarim's HP, and it looks like Hecarim picks up the kill on the Diana as well. You know, you were right, maybe Hecarim can actually, you know, bring it back with the extra gold that he's accumulated for his team. He's gotten 2 shutdowns so far.
He has.
Maybe
2
Valkyrie
shutdowns.
Is still in it.
I think the thing is that the 2 shutdowns have been kind of on C9 being caught out, in a sense. And of course, that's what you want to look for when you're behind, so credit to them for that. Maybe a couple more kills coming out here as well.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay, if I was Yezreal, I would not be happy with the amount of damage my ulti did to Yasuo there. Oh my days.
It's definitely going to hurt, especially in the position that they're in. They want every bit of gold, every little advantage they can get.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
gold deficit hovering around 10k at this point in time.
Yeah, if Valkyrie can continue to look for these picks and C9 keeps making these little mistakes, then they may be able to pull it back. But that being said, I genuinely don't think in a scenario where Diana's not kind of caught there in the fight in the bot lanes, not sloppy coming out from C9, there's no chance that this team can run through C9. When they play the team fights correctly, when all 5 are there, I think there's not a single chance that Valkyrie wins the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how much do you think the new patch has affected the playstyles of the teams so far.
Playstyle wise, I don't know if it's affected it too much. I think pick wise, maybe we're seeing some different things. I think the Shyvana might be more viable due to the changes. I do think Diana's less viable due to some of the changes. Overall, though, I think, at least from what I found, you typically play the game the same as you would normally. You just kind of play different champs and then kind of match the meta a little bit. I don't know if the teams have taken the drawing board just yet and kind of found what works for them with the new patch and with the changes. But I could be wrong. That may be why we see a reasonably more tanky team coming out from the side of Valkyrie. But that also may have blundered for them in this case.
Absolutely. It looks like they kind of are just lacking damage in some of these team fights. They definitely don't have enough to get through the Shyvana and even the Diana, really, in most of the fights. And Diana's like, you know, she is considered to be like an assassin slash bruiser, but still, she's getting away with a lot of stuff this game that she otherwise wouldn't have been able to get away with last patch, in my opinion.
Definitely. I think the picking up the Samira as well is definitely... I mean, look, Samira's been a strong champ for a while, especially if you can play her well, but I think this patch she's excelling, especially when she naturally builds Tabby. She gets that slight bit tankier, she has that lifesteal. I think potentially the Samira pick we could see being more popular due to the changes too. But playstyle-wise, I think it's being the same.
Absolutely. We see C9 posturing for the Dragon Soul at the moment. They're going to see if they can get a pick. They all dodge the Bard ult. TP coming in from Valkyrie at the moment. Another TP coming in from C9. Looks like Victor has picked up a kill on the Diana. Really, really good for Valkyrie at the start of this fight. There is just blood being shed all across the rift at the moment. Wow, 3 kills onto Victor. Like we was talking about before, Victor being the win con in the late game is definitely holding true right now.
And maybe the game is not over. We called it early. I mean, we never said it was over, but we gave C9 praise early. And Valkyrie just doing what they need to here. Great play from them. They played that great. The Fiora TP coming in before the Shyvana put her in a position to kind of catch someone out. And yeah, very, very well played by Valkyrie to claw back a little bit, pick up the dragon, stop the soul from happening. And they've dropped the gold lead to about 6.5k.
Yeah, absolutely. Big win for Valkyrie there. It's really, really good to see the scales kind of tipping in the other direction. You know, like we said, everyone loves an underdog story. We didn't expect the favorite to be the underdog, like change to the underdog status halfway through the game. But you know, it is what it is. In League of Legends, anything can happen.
All right, we do see double control ward down on this Baron, and one gets replaced down there. I can only imagine that C9 knows they had a bit of a blunder. They need to force a fight as 5. Hope they win the fight if they play correctly, and they want to look to end it soon because I think they're realizing that Victor could be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like C9's starting the Baron here. I think that Valkyrie is in a position where they could contest it. All 4 of the members here walking up. Victor gets some damage down onto the Diana. If they can get another pick on the jungler before the objective, that would be absolutely ideal for Valkyrie, but we'll just have to see how this fight goes. Shyvana does have the flank, but she is being bursted down by Victor at the moment. And it looks like Shyvana just does not have the damage to take Victor down. The kill goes over to Avalanche, and it is now a 4v5. Valkyrie.
Sorry, I didn't mean to keep correcting you there, but...
No, you know what? I definitely deserve it. I keep... Oh man, it's a problem of mine. It's a problem of mine. I apologize.
I just made a very dumb observation, but I do want to call this one out on a stream, expose myself a little bit. Bard ulti disabled the plant there. It's not something that I've ever seen before, so this is the first time I've caught that one.
Yeah, well, it is a targetable entity in the game, so I think it can be disabled just the same as it disables towers and minions and stuff.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Just an observation I don't think I've ever made. It's great to see. And like I said, nothing
both teams reset. Both teams reset, and it looks like they don't really get anything off of that team fight. So this part of the game is starting to move a little bit slower, and we're going to see some more calculated plays coming out of both teams. It's going to go from 0 to 100 really quick as soon as one team decides to make a play.
Okay, I do think I've gotten the replay feature sorted out, so I'm going to give that one a test. Next big fight we have. I'm just letting everyone know, apologize that we haven't been able to use that one just yet. Fingers crossed that'll come back in the next fight here. We've got Bard clearing out some vision. And she'll pick onto...
Yeah, big damage coming out from Diana onto Fiora. Fiora has to flash out here, but ultimately she ends up being collected. 4v5 now for C9 versus Valkyrie. Valkyrie engaging with the Hecarim here, but Zonyas comes down just a bit too quick. They still pick up the kill onto Diana. Victor really starting to get all the kills that he needs to carry this game. So we'll have to see how that goes. Looks like Bard may be caught out here. Shyvana ult coming out. Lots of damage coming down onto the Bard. Bard ultimately dies. We see Hecarim running away with a third of his HP still intact. Victor looking to get a little bit more poke. I don't think it was a good idea. He has to blow Flash now. And looks like C9 will be taking this Baron if they so choose, but I don't think that they are.
They do have the Diana dead with the Hecarim up, so I'm guessing they're probably going to opt to clear out some vision, try and push the wave just a little bit and reset here and maybe look for it again. We are going to give that replay feature a little test just from the... Oh, hang on here. Just from the first part of that fight to see kind of where it went wrong for... I'd say where it went wrong for C9. Valkyrie wants to keep this game going. So let's have a quick look at that one. Victor, so that's just kind of gold in the pocket of where they want it for Valkyrie, and I think they're going to keep looking for a couple more of those. They might be able to bring it back if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. That 10k gold deficit looking a lot more like about a 4 or 5k gold deficit at this point in time. So, you know, any improvement we'd like to see for Valkyrie at this point in time. It looks like their team comp is starting to kind of beat out C9s in lots of ways. All these fights in the rivers, looks like the Victor and the Ezreal can capitalize more in these environments.
Fiora tipping down and instantly gets killed. That's not great.
Big damage coming down onto Fiora. Looks like the Hecarim multi comes down. People dropping bodies left, right, and center. Shyvana gets stunned, moving towards Victor. Bard goes down. Sumeru picks up a double kill for C9. Victor barely escaping. It looks like one more ability from Shyvana would take him down, but he's going back in for the damage anyway. He takes down Shyvana. Yasuo moving forward, threatening with the tornado, but he cannot hit it. Looks like Dragon Soul finally goes over to C9. It looks like they're moving towards the Baron now.
Yeah, very back and forth fight. A couple of kills picked up on both sides. Actually, it may have just been one picked up for Valkyrie, which is not ideal for them. C9 with a 13 kill advantage. They've gotten the Soul. They might not have the 10k lead they had before, but they do, like we just said, have the Soul. They have control of this game again. And I think all they need is another 1 or 2 nice team fights, and they can really look to start chipping away at the base of Valkyrie.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we see IE is just about to be completed on the Yasuo, so we're going to expect to see a lot of damage coming out from him as soon as that is finished. Looks like Victor looking for a Zhonya's. I don't get me wrong, I'm not a mid lane player, so I might be wrong, but I think maybe opting for like a Rabadon's or something like that would give him more potential to carry this game, but I understand there's lots of dive from C9's C9's team, and he really needs the Zhonya's for that reason. Looks like Nami is about to almost 100 to 0 to Ezreal. The durability patch, by the way.
Nowhere in that patch they mentioned the buffing of supports, but I guess we see it here now.
It is what it is. It looks like Victor getting a ton of damage down onto C9. They're looking to make the push here with the Baron minions. We'll have to see how well that goes for them. Victor is pretty decent wave clear, but into the Baron minions with the added magic resist, it will prove difficult nonetheless.
Definitely, and look, it's still a very anyone's kind of anything goes kind of game. I'd say C9 has kind of, they fumbled a little bit, they've kind of brought it back. They're playing a little bit better as a team, and they're picking up kills where now Valkyrie's starting to fumble, which was kind of what C9's issue was mid game. I think a couple more of those, and we could see the end of the game. A couple more from the other team, and we could see this game going for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, they're just reverting back to that total speed. They have to give and take tempo. They can't always C9 can't always be pressuring towers. From Valkyrie, they do need to make their resets and spend the gold they've made. So it gives both teams a little bit of breathing room in that respect. It looks like IE still yet to be completed on Yasuo, which is surprising. With 240 CS and 3 kills, I thought he'd have a lot more gold.
Yeah, I guess with the durability patch, he's gone for, and I don't play Yasuo, so I'm not sure on the typical build path, but he's gone for that Death Stance second, helps with the durability. He's going to be quite strong overall. The lifesteal, the healing kind of reset on that. But you do want to see him grab that IE as soon as possible, otherwise 32 minutes into the game, he's going to be lacking damage. I would say he picks it up here on that reset. And he seems to be waiting in base, so my assumption is going to be... There we go, that's the IE completed for Yasuo.
Very, very nice. It looks like both teams hitting their item spikes about the same time, even with the gold deficits in mind, which is interesting. But I understand wanting to opt for more of a defensive options are probably even better than they were before now, because of the durability patch. Everyone's going to be really tanky, and these fights are going to be going for a very long time.
Yeah, we can see, I think where the biggest gold difference here coming out is going to be between the Samira and the Ezreal. So if you have a look at Samira, she's 1 item off full build. The Ezreal, on the other hand, 2.5 items in and boots, but that's about it for him. So that's the biggest difference, is this Samira in fights, she's quite strong. We see a play coming up top here.
Shyvana caught in the Bard R. Looks like she's going to be chain CC'd. She ults towards the enemy team, but looks like she survives. Diana picking up 2 kills. Oh my god, what is happening? There's abilities being thrown out left, right, and center, and everyone is dying. Wow, okay, looks like Valkyrie has lost 4 members of their team, and C9 is looking to close out this game. I'm really obsessed with Avalanche. I've got Avalanche on the mind recently.
Yeah, game 3, Avalanche coming through. Hopefully that'll be a great one, and hopefully they don't let down your expectations then. It does look like they're going to look to maybe end, if possible, the waves coming in.
Bit of BM coming out from C9's side here. That one win really going to their heads. And it looks like the win goes over to C9, plus 50 for the Shyvana. And yeah, that was not how I expected that game to go whatsoever. I really thought that Valkyrie would be the favorites moving into that game. Everything leading up to this match tonight kind of indicated that to me. Valkyrie just performing pretty well across the board. Not to say that C9 hasn't been, but I just didn't expect this kind of performance coming out from them.
Yeah, most definitely. I do want to really quickly, before we toss over to intermission, and I agree with your statements there, just to make that clear. But I want to quickly have a look at a little bit of the last fight that just happened there that led C9 to winning. And that fight may have not gone the way they wanted it to. Regardless, though, great display from both teams. C9 really kind of showing their colors, and then, like I said, coming out as the underdogs from the start of the game. And I can't wait to see what Game 2 has for us. Do you have any closing thoughts for that one, Fuzz?
I've already shared them. I'm ready to move on to intermission.
Awesome. Let's jump over to that, and hopefully we'll get into the next game soon.
See you then.
Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it all now. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. See the evil eye every time we pull up. Talking about the fakes, but that's not us. You know you can call me Dundada. Baby, we gon' pull up to the opera. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it all now. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. Who that hopping out the Beamer? It's a party when I see her. Fell in love with my demeanor, and she love the way I treat her. We gon' pour it by the leader. Everybody watching now, I'm blowing off the meter. All these people talking Frank Sinatra through the speakers. If they got a problem, cause in time he got a feature. So I'm popping off. Now I'm hearing talks about falling off, I could never. All these people that been dropping off, I could never. All that talking just to top it off, I could never. Got a bag, homie. I don't mean to brag, homie. Know a lot of people hate on me. Get the fuck up out my way, homie. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it, oh no. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. See the evil eye every time we pull up. Talking about the fakes, but that's not us. You know you can call me Dundada. Baby, we gon' pull up to the opera. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it, oh no. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. Ain't nobody pop where I'm from. No attention, now these hoes falling like it's autumn. Richie Palo on top, that's a fucking problem. Russian cream, suede seats like we hit the ladder. And I hold on to my pride, cause you know where I'm from. And I grip that bottle tight, I'ma sip it till it's done. I'ma take that corner wide while I'm screaming red rum. You the Bonnie to my Clyde, now we really on one. Now I know you wanna party all night, mix the Henny with Bacardi all night, in that Giorgio Armani all white, and I know you love that vodka with peace Sprite. Can I hit it in the morning? Cause I'm flying, man, I'm soaring. I'm just going through the motions. There's no telling where we're going. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it, oh no. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. See the evil eye every time we pull up. Talking about the fakes, but that's not us. You know you can call me Dundada. Baby, we gon' pull up to the opera. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it, oh no. I'm a playboy like Sinatra.
I know that you're afraid, it feels like every day things are slipping away, you're slipping away. And you think back to a time that you were lost. Thoughts disorganized, can't seem to dry your eyes, and chaos is collapsing from your mind. And you say that you're fine, but now you're out of time, out of time, you're out of time, you're out of time, and now you're out of time. Ooh, now you're out of time. Never measure up, you'll never be enough. People say tough love, you should just suck it up. And you think back to a time that you were lost. Thoughts disorganized, can't seem to dry your eyes, and chaos is collapsing from your mind. And you say that you're fine, but now you're out of time, out of time, you're out of time.
Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to the stream just after game one there. Very interesting display from both teams. C9 picking up the win. A little bit of an upset and a good one, a welcomed one. Going into the next game, though, we have two teams here. Massive MT1 going up against, I believe it's Weeknight Warriors. Let me confirm that just because we do have them both in the tournament. But I do believe Weeknight.
You are
so
correct.
Weeknight
It is
Warriors.
Massive versus Weeknight Warriors.
Awesome. Okay, so going into this, both teams honestly looking really good, though. Like we said, Massive picked up 2 games. Weeknight Warriors typically just a great team all around. They've made some small changes to their roster over the last couple of weeks as well. So I think they've refined some of the smaller issues that they've got there. Fingers crossed they can, like we said, pick this one up. I'm expecting them to have sorted out the kinks. But I think this will be a much potentially higher display of skill than the last game. And it'll be a very fun one to watch, I'm hoping. What's your thoughts here? You can see a couple of the players jumping into the lobby here. We can see a couple of master players, a couple of grandmaster players. So we are at that higher level now.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on it are that Mind Goblins has been my favorite player this entire cup. So I'm really, really happy to see him here tonight, and I'm gonna really try hard to not make too many jokes during this game. But you know, you kind of know, you can kind of understand my thoughts on the topic already. You know, you can see where my brain's going.
Of course, of course. Now, another notable player that I do want to bring up, we want to Mind Goblin. He had a great display of skill last time we seen him on stream. On the reverse, and I know they dropped the game that we watched with this one, but you may remember Viper 8 in the bot lane for Weeknight Warriors. Just to recap your memory just a little bit there, it was the game where they had the Aphelios, who picked up just about every kill. They did lose because he ended up getting shut down, but he was 14-1 at some point or something along those lines. Amazing display of skill. From what I hear, just generally in the community, he's a great player all around, usually very reliable. Are you expecting to see an amazing display of skill again tonight from him in the bot lane?
I mean, does lightning strike the same place twice? I don't know. We'll have to see. I really can't tell you because I've only seen him really perform really well that one time. I will say he really showed some exceptional skills and game knowledge during that game. So moving into this game, I really hope that we can see another great performance out of him once again. But you know, I've got to back massive with the Mind Goblins in the jungle. You know, I will not let that go.
Of course. Anyways, like we said, great display around. Mind Goblin in the jungle. I hope I'm not saying this one wrong, but Lysae in the mid lane coming out the side of massive. And then I don't think they've sorted out their roles properly just yet. But Kaze, I'm not sure how to say his full name, so I'm just going to go with Kaze. Kaze in the mid lane on the side of Weeknight over here. Should be a great matchup to watch. And I could be wrong on roles, but I think that's correct. Definitely going to be one to look out for. A couple more players joining the lobby, so we should be getting the champs like shortly. I think we'll jump back to intermission, though, while we wait for that one.
We'll see you then, guys.
Awesome. See you guys soon.
Mama said you're meant to burn as bright as a star among the midnight sky. All the pressure blinded me, but now I see I'm no different from the rest. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm Searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Calling me royalty. Stay on stage just 'cause I broke all the cages.
Okay, sorry about that small delay, but we are into Champ Select now for the second game. I will say happily this time that we're not running Pro Draft, which means that we are looking at the bands and picks live as they happen. So, wow, that's an instant ban for the Bard coming out there. I wonder if the Bard coming out from last games maybe put some people on edge. I know it's one of those champs you typically don't want to play against. A couple other
But,
bands.
at the end of the day, like, it's just a really annoying champion, and Massive might just not want to deal with it. In that respect, he does set up lots of wombo combos as well. So I'd say it's a fair ban.
Yeah, most definitely. So, final ban looking to come out from Weeknight Warriors here. It'd be interesting to see what that will be. And the Thresh. So they've targeted primarily support here. They've gotten rid of the Graves too, which I think is a very reasonable ban with the durability patch, typically speaking. He's quite a tanky champ to begin with, but he does ridiculous damage, so getting rid of him makes sense. The Wukong. So we are still at the 100% pick ban Wukong. I want to see that fall apart. I don't want to see it in one of these games, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think It's also a really good flexible pick. You know, like Massive can pick Wukong first, and you know the enemy team doesn't really have a really good idea of whether or not that Wukong is going to be in the jungle or whether or not it's going to be top lane, or on the off chance, the extremely off chance that it could be mid lane even. So I think there's just too many reasons why that champion's good, and like you said, I really don't want to see him moving forward, but I think we're going to be sorely disappointed on that front.
Okay, Talia pick, a very interesting one. I haven't really seen too much with her coming around the little rework that she had. I'll ask you this question, or maybe you know. Is she a jungler at the moment, or is she more of a laner now? What's actually happened with her?
I've seen her played more in the mid lane, but she does have like a pretty decent play rate in the jungle, as far as I know.
Okay.
This patch, you know, with the changes to her kit, making her E and her W interact a little bit differently. You know, obviously, her like minefield ability is like quite a bit longer than it used to be now, so it makes hitting most of her abilities a bit easier. You know, I think that we're bound to see her play rate her play rate go up anyway, but you know, yeah, it's good to see her, to be honest. I however do hate seeing Swain.
Yes.
I really I've got beef with this champion, you know.
I'm on the same level with you there. Are we going to see the same Aphelios we saw from day one come out for Viper here?
Belios Lulu in the bot lane, and oof.
Will they lock this in, and will we get a different display? And a Jinx pick, I'm okay with that one. Jinx Lulu, very classical pick. We've seen the ability that he had on the champion. Aphelios, I wonder what we're going to see him pull out on Jinx here. I do want to quickly transition over to, we're talking about the Swain, the center pick that came afterwards. They had to hotfix that champ this patch because she was kind of ridiculous. Her win rate's still through the roof. What's your thoughts on that?
On Senna?
Yes.
You know, actually, this is the one champion I don't really have an opinion on. I've barely seen it in my solo queue games. I've yet to experience the Senna nightmare that people have been going on about this patch.
What I will give you a little bit of insight on, so this means nothing because, you know, I'm not by any means an amazing player, but I have been playing support over the last, probably the last week, we'll just say. First time I've ever really kind of taken a foray into support. My champ got banned, my one trick got banned in support, and so I locked Senna. It was ridiculous. That's the only thing I can say. It was disgusting for a player that doesn't play the role, that literally just kind of went in and went, yeah, let's have some fun. It was insane, the damage I was able to output and the harass and everything out from Senna.
Really? Is it that good?
I found it quite ridiculous, I will say. I think I had the most damage in the team as the Senna support, so it was a very interesting one.
Sheesh.
We see, I wonder if that's actually going to be a Nunu lock, another champion that I haven't seen for quite a while.
I see like kind of a flexible draft coming out from Weeknight Warriors as well. There's an off chance. Oh, never mind. Okay, I was gonna say there's an off chance that Nunu could be actually the mid laner, and that he could just, you know, make a bit of a clown fiesta. But you know, opting for the Hecarim, we get more of a linear team coming around here, which is fine. It's fine. It's just
Yet
far
again,
less interesting than a Nunu mid. So
it looks
you know, I'm
to
a
be
little bit
primarily
hurt.
like a scaling. I mean, in my opinion, a scaling comp coming out from the side of Weeknight Warriors. You've got the Lulu Jinx, which is of course just a late game monster. You've got the Talia, which again I don't know too much about her after her rework, but I can only imagine that she's still quite a stronger scaling champ, like late game, kind of the burst, putting down the minefield, kind of gets rid of the Gnar and the Wukong and even the Azir, kind of trying to make a play. So it looks like maybe an aggressive and early to mid game jungler, but a mostly scaling comp here. And will that be an Aatrox pick?
Aatrox in this top lane, man, that is a champion that has been absolutely plaguing games as far as I'm aware. You know, he was rough to deal with before the
Okay.
Oh, what's happened
We
here?
have had a dodge come out. Hecarim equals Gwen. I see.
Oh, Gwen, okay.
That was that the last pick? I'm just making sure. No, it wasn't. Wondering if we'll have a small issue there. What we'll do, we'll jump into Yeah, that wasn't. That's all right. We'll jump into a intermission just while we work this out with the teams. We'll be back once we're finishing up.
Sure.
All right, no worries.
Oh, darling, if I had bought you flowers, would you still be here by my side? Yeah, I thought this moment could be ours, while I'm walking on you through the night. You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay with him. Darling, if I had bought you flowers, what if you stayed at home the night? Yeah, I've been lonely counting hours, while I'm getting blinded by the light. You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay with him. Break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart.
Visions of you, with you. You don't know what goes on behind these eyes. You don't know the loneliness hidden inside. You don't know I wanna eat you up alive. Come and get to know me, my type of wild. I'm the kind that spins you and hangs you dry. Well, I'm already on to another side. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole.
Okay, hello. We are back with game 2 after that small mishap there. So what had happened, and I'll just let everyone know there, one of the picks for the side of Weeknight Warriors was a placeholder pick. Unfortunately, teams weren't informed, so a little bit of a mess there, but that's okay. We can see that Gwen in the jungle was the intentional pick instead of what they picked prior. Only difference in the draft there is that. Otherwise, everything else is still the same from draft. And here we go, 5-point coming in from both sides again. Looks as though we had the ward placed and then back from center, I think it may have been.
I'm just keen to see Mind Goblins back in action, back on the Wukong again. Now, am I wrong in saying that I think he's only played Wukong so far this cup?
So
or
I
has
hadn't
he played another champion?
I hadn't paid attention to game 2 as it was off stream and I was on the broadcast that day, so I can't say for sure. I do know he definitely played it in week 1 though, game 1. And it may have been the case if it wasn't banned out for game 2. I imagine he probably did the same thing. One pick that I do want to put focus on here. We talked about Viper 8 coming through on the Aphelios, and then wondering what kind of display he's going to have on the Jinx. Now, I was informed, and I had a look and checked for myself. He is a 73% win rate Jinx, the #1 Jinx OCE, and actually ranked 21 globally. So we may have an absolute monster on our hands in the bot lane. Definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll see, because if he loses, it's a testament to how strong Swain really is this patch. Because holy crap, that champion has been just unreasonably dominant. I do have beef with that champion, guys. I hate it.
Yes, most definitely. I can agree on that front. I have just noticed it is actually a Swain AP carry, I guess, with a center support. Very interesting pick coming out there.
Well, I think Senna just does enough AD damage. You know, as you said, Senna's been really good this patch as well. She's going to be doing a lot of AD damage for Massive, along with their jungle and their top lane. So, I think it's, you know, a necessary pick, to be honest, to have just one more AP person on the team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coming through from the side of Azir, he does have to make a perfect play to kind of be able to win those late game fights. The Swain's more so able to just kind of free hit the team a little bit and get some more AP damage. So if they do decide to opt for the armor, Swain will be shredding through them too.
We see lots of short trades happening in the top lane. You know, Gnar getting a bit of damage down onto Aatrox. Nothing really substantial. He's gonna heal most of that back with just, you know, his passive healing, his Doran's shield, and maybe if he pops a health potion if it gets that bad. But you know, I am familiar with that top lane, and Gnar can be a really annoying champion to verse. Oh, we see Mind Goblins getting a bit of damage down onto the Talia. I think Talia just disengages there without having to blow any sums. You know, good pressure coming out from Massive so far.
Now, there is one other, I know we mentioned Viper on the Jinx there and how he's one to look out for. Another pick that I do want to really watch here is the Aatrox in the top lane on Karante there. Again, from what I've seen, this Weeknight Warriors roster is quite stacked overall. They have great players, typically speaking. They're quite known. Last week we saw, in the first week we saw Karante pull out I believe it was the Yasuo, against the Camille, if you recall that one.
I do.
I don't think that was his most favorable game. But I am hoping to see another display here coming from him. Again, I don't want to pick a favorite in this game because both teams have performed quite well. But I'm hoping to see Weeknight Warriors kind of really show us what they are made of, despite that little mishap in the first game.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, both teams are really quite consistent in how well they play. So, again, it's one of those games that could go either way. My favorite for this match, obviously, being Massive. But you know, if Weeknight Warriors can pull out all the stops and pull out a win, I'll be happy with that outcome as well.
Definitely can go either way here. Again, I don't want to put my money on anyone, but I do want to see Weeknight Warriors give us a nice play here.
Absolutely. And we see just more trading happening in the top lane. Now getting quite low. He has run out of pots, so he needs to be really careful with Aatrox's kill pressure. Looks like he's just gonna recall, opt for the recall there. First dragon of the game, Mountain Dragon. Probably the best dragon on this current patch, after the durability patch. Just because of just the added armor and MR. It's just even more value than it was before. It's going to be really, really annoying for Weeknight Warriors to deal with, or for both teams to deal with, I should say, depending on who gets the dragon first.
Most definitely. I've always favored the Mountain Dragons, especially when you get them early. They can really change the tempo. I mean, look, if you think about it, like getting an early Mountain Dragon last patch was like playing this patch. That's a good way to look at it, and now you've got that Mountain Dragon potentially on top of that for whichever team gets that one first.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the topic of the, and I know we've been going into it a lot, so I do apologize for anyone who doesn't really give a crap. But on the topic of the durability update, lane I haven't played yet is top lane, and I know you do play top lane a little bit yourself. How are you finding? Because I mean, look, honestly, top lane's usually a little bit of a wet noodle fest in the early game most of the time. How are you finding its affected top lane? Is it just even more amplified now, or what's the go there?
Unplayable. Absolutely unplayable. All my champions do no damage. I can't kill anybody, and it takes really long for me to die. So I don't know. It's been rough. It's been really rough in the top lane. If you're picking Ornn is an absolutely disgusting champion on this current patch, but I've gone back to playing jungle. That's how bad it's been. That's how bad top lane's been. It looks like a kill might be coming out for Massive onto the Lulu here. Some's being dropped left, right, and center. Senna just not doing any damage to her. Draz, can you tell me why that is? Did she get a little bit of an armor buff?
Yeah, look, she got a little bit of an armor buff, a little bit of a health buff. You know, it is what it is.
Absolutely unplayable.
That being said, we can see the dragon coming out for the side of Massive. So I mean, you may have unintentionally predicted that one when you mentioned Weeknight Warriors needing to deal with Massive and the dragon there. 7 minutes into the game, and we haven't gotten a single kill from either team yet. I expected this coming into game 1 as well, but it doesn't look to be the case with game 1. Game 2 though, a little bit slower. I wouldn't say sleepy just yet, because I imagine it's going to pick up quite a lot. But we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely, we will. Now we see, you know, the Tabis coming from Nah here. Oh wow, Gwen really using ult here. Looks like they're trying to force the flash from Pirate Pat. I don't think he will need to. Yeah, it looks like he was able to just walk that one off. As I was saying, the Ninja Tabis coming out from Nah here, having just, you know, even more inflated value because of Massive picking up that early Mountain Dragon. It's going to be really, really hard for Aatrox to look for any type of meaningful damage onto Nara at this point.
Yeah, and I could be wrong in saying this, but I don't believe that typically speaking, you get any kind of realistically armor shred coming out from an Aatrox early or anything along those lines.
No, not too much, but it looks like Mind Goblin's looking for the kill onto Aatrox. Aatrox in a really bad position here. They both do have sums up, so there looks like there could be some outplay potential. But I think Mind Goblins is about to say to Aatrox, hey, you ever heard of Mind Goblins? Because Mind Goblin these nuts. Wow.
We couldn't go through without having at least one.
There will be more. I can't promise anything.
That being said, reasonably well played. Honestly, reasonably well played from Aatrox as well, coming from Karate there. Almost realistically getting away. I don't know if he would have been able to, maybe if the center hadn't roamed up. But the center did roam. She picked up that kill there, so first blood on that center, which is going to be extremely scary. A little bit of jumping around back and forth. We saw a lot of players rotating up for that, actually. So if we can expect that kind of team play coming out from both sides, I think we're in for a treat this game.
Absolutely. It looks like Kaze? Whatever his name is, he got a lot of damage down onto center there, or that's what I would say if we weren't playing on the durability patch. She actually only lost about a fifth of her HP from a Talia combo.
That being said, I think the first 2 or 3 hits of the Q didn't miss. There is that.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. Maybe I'm just used to people popping like balloons, but I don't know. It's we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this game goes.
I will say overall, I have been enjoying it. Like I started playing League. I think it was in. Look, the first time I played League was in like season 1 or 2. When I really got into League was in season 5. Back when champions were typically just tankier and there were a lot more kind of skirmishing happening and back and forth.
Goated. Season was goated. Absolutely.
Season 5 was goated. Season 6 was probably because it was the season that I actually understood the game, but season 6 was my favorite. So I'm more used to that, and I do prefer that playstyle. So I'm excited kind of playing moving forward. I'm liking this patch so far. But it's interesting.
The healthiest patch that has come out from Riot in a really long time. So
yeah,
just for that reason alone, I think it's great for the game, and not so great for my ADHD brain that wants to see big numbers on the screen.
That being said, it's making a reasonably bigger impact through these games than I would have expected. The first game was just a very sloppy back and forth fight, but this one a little bit more controlled, a little bit higher level of play coming out from both teams, and you can really see 11 minutes in with only 1 kill on the board.
So Mind Goblin summoning the Rift Herald in the bot lane. Oh, I keep having to catch myself from making jokes. It's going to be a long game, Jess. It's going to be really, really long.
It definitely is. Matchup is very interesting. I'd like to say, like Jinx ahead, 16 CS ahead, minus the Sen having the kill, whatnot. But it's an interesting situation because, I mean, you don't really expect Swain to be able to CS on par with an ADC, yet that being said, he's still at 80 CS. So he's not doing a terrible job. I think Swain at about the 1.5 item spike just becomes an absolute menace to deal with. And I wonder if that's what we're going to see this game, or if Weeknight Warriors maybe are going to be able to deal with that one.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see because, it seems to be a trend with most of these games that they're picking scaling late game comps. So we're not really going to see what direction the game's going in until maybe 15-20 minutes into the game when a couple of our scaling picks have gotten a bit more juice behind them, a bit more money, a bit more kills. It's kind of anyone's game at this point, still.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, there's a 200 gold difference and a 1 dragon difference. Minus that, there's really not much happening. So definitely anyone's game, especially with the scaling kind of picks.
Absolutely.
But some interesting picks nonetheless. Mostly coming out of the bot lane from the side of Massive. But even on the Gwen, I don't really think that she's the greatest jungler in the world. Maybe that's changed with the current patch.
Yeah, well, Massive has lots of range damage, and that really kind of works well into Gwen's kit. Now, I'd like to point out here, Weeknight Warriors trying really hard to take the Swain down in this fight, and he just took about approximately 100 damage from 4 members of the team hitting him. He's just moving forward into the team, Massive just picking up kills left, right, and center. No one survives. Swain, ladies and gentlemen, Swain. I've got beef with this champion.
And within very well reason as well, as we saw just there. That was actually I'm very surprised by the limited damage that he took there. And I don't think that's... I mean, that's obviously a testament to the patch, but it's also just a testament to the champion. In his ulti, kind of healing through it, able to hit pretty much everyone as they're all stacked up on him early game. So he's just... Especially with... I mean, look, Conqueror as well. Everything just kind of worked in his favor, and then that was a very disgusting display coming out of the Swain there.
Oh my god. Please, for the love of God, no more Swain games tonight. I can't stomach it. I feel nauseous watching this game.
The other pick that I do, or the other player that I do want to kind of give props to there, is coming out of Lysea in the mid lane on the, on the Azir there. Had a little bit of a mind blank. As well, he hit a nice ulti. I think he hit maybe 2 or 3 members towards his team, and they definitely were able to clean up the kills due to that as well.
Absolutely. You see, top lane, as you said before, a bit of a wet noodle contest, and it could not be more true this game. I implore you, go try top lane after the on this current patch, and tell me how well it goes. Top lane used to be looking for kills, looking for solo kills. Aatrox goes down here. He got a bit of the four-man top lane special. Dyrus is rolling in his grave right now. But, as I was saying before, solo kills in the top lane, good luck. Good luck nowadays.
Yeah, is there any specific picks out there that you think maybe are quite strong with top lane meta at the moment?
Ornn.
Ornn.
Ornn. Malphite. Another one.
I do like me a little bit of Malphite.
Yeah, you know, Gangplank was really disgusting before, and I think he's not going to do nearly as much damage as he used to after this patch. But that being said, I don't think there's anyone who can really stop him from farming. Oh, Kayle, that's another one on the same note.
Yes.
Kayle is just brutal, absolutely brutal to verse this patch. Massive, making lots and lots of plays as a team here. They're moving around kind of in a pack. Securing objectives left, right, and center. Top lane turret just went down, and now they're picking up the Rift Herald. It looks like they're making all the right plays. Lysa ulting away the Talia, but Talia flashing forward again, sidestepping the Jinx rockets, and Talia finally picking up the kill onto Lysa.
Yeah, a little bit of happy feet there. He actually did quite well to survive that long, avoiding a lot of the skill shots. I definitely thought he'd be cleaned up quite sooner than that. Unfortunately, I'd say for the side of Weeknight Warriors, Jinx probably wanted that kill, but she didn't get it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, Massive just did not have enough money to pay Weeknight Warriors in that fight. You know, they said, make me look good on this bot lane dive, but, you know, Weeknight Warriors, they still wanted the payday at the end of the day, and they decided to take Azir with them. Anyway.
Of course. And be interesting to see what they can do with that one kill picking up there. 5-2 kills, 2 dragons on the side of Massive. Will they continue to kind of show display a skill here? Will they continue to be as big as their name claims them to be?
No, they're making some massive plays so far, Dress.
It's one of those games.
Oh, it's a rough one, you know. It's gonna be long, like I was talking about.
It definitely does. It actually, on the topic of the game itself, it does look like it may be a long one, as we mentioned a couple of times. Not a lot of kills going around. Decent farming coming out from
Have you noticed that games have been extending in time after the durability changes?
I have actually noticed that. I don't know if that's a direct relation. I mean, it does make sense less happening in the early game, but honestly, unless you're in extremely high elo, I don't necessarily know if tankiness dictates. I'll stop here
Big
while we have a fight.
From Talia. Looks like they're going to be collecting the Gnar. Yeah, well, he goes down without much fight. Looks like Mind Goblins giving the... I can't say that. In the back line to the Aatrox. Gwen moving forward onto Azir, dropping ults, just dropping too much damage for him to bear. 3 kills, going over to Weeknight, and it looks like Massive come out of that one a bit short-handed.
Yeah, even on gold now, 100 gold difference, and that's going to be evened out just there. Interesting play on the dragon here, and Weeknight Warriors managed to secure that one still.
Mind Goblin's looking for the steal, but he just could not get it. Poor bloke.
Yeah, all around, definitely a good play coming out from the side of Weeknight Warriors. They're actually up in gold now after grabbing the dragon, so 1,000 gold in their pocket. Still no kills on this Jinx, which is what I really wanted to look out for, but we have a 4-1 Gwen in the jungle. She's going to be quite impactful. We know how Gwen can be when she's ahead. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, Karante in the top lane, someone who I was really hoping to do well this game, currently sitting 0-3. I'd say he's not realistically too far behind, but he is unfortunately 0-3 at this point.
Aatrox is deceptive, you know. In the sense that he could go 0-4 and then he just happens to score like 5 or 6 knockups in a team fight, like AoE knockups in a team fight, and all of a sudden you just kind of forget all about the fact that he blundered lane really hard. So, you know, I wouldn't put too much, I wouldn't think too much about Aatrox going 0-3 this game, you know. He still has a lot of potential to make some really good plays.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, by all means, this is no solo queue game where the negative Aatrox is just going to go run it down top lane some more. I'm sure he's communicating with his team. They're looking for a bit more. And
Mind Goblins are looking for the Aatrox here. W coming down onto him saying, no. Back off. Get your own. Yeah, wow, it looks like it's just kind of the bit of a turtle fest at this point in time. You know, no one's really making too many plays. They've just kind of been playing for dragons. Rift Heralds, but other than that, there's not been too many skirmishes. Looks like Lysia going for the all-in onto the Talia, and he picks that up pretty comfortably with 7-hour naps. Help, I'm sure is much appreciated. that they're pushing out the bot lane. Maybe they do a reset and look for some pressure on the Baron.
Now, I will say, despite how slow this game has been, the Senna definitely is not taking a nap. 1, 0, and 6 right now. Highest kill contribution in her team, which being actually 100% at this point. And I do think that Senna pick is going to be quite impactful in the late game. And, I mean, look, Infinite Scaling Champions, what more is there to say?
So it looks like Gwen coming in to get some damage down onto Na. Na instantly coming out with the ulti and retreating back towards the tower. There are 3 members of Weeknight Warriors in the top lane at the moment, so it's safe to assume that both teams are going to be posturing for the Baron. You know, there's no other real objectives on the map at the moment. They're probably looking to take down that mid lane tower, though, if I had to guess.
Yeah, look, they're going to look to take down this mid lane tower on the side of Massive here, get a little bit of priority so that they can maybe look for this Baron. It's definitely going to be a hard Baron to take at this point in the game. Teams are entirely even on gold. You know, no one's really kind of ahead by any means besides the junglers, I guess, have a little bit of gold in their pocket. But outside of that, this might be where the game starts to pick up. They're going to want these objectives because there's nothing else to really play for, and with that, we might finally start to see some fighting, some skirmishing, and maybe some nice plays coming out as well.
So the Aatrox getting the flank on Lycia here, but it looks like Lycia just has too good a movement and just decides, yeah, you know what, I'm going to take a leisurely stroll back to my tower and not even pop flash. Really, really good movements coming out from Lycia.
We see the blue buff being stolen by the Senna, just with her range and her damage, and there we go, she's picked that one up. Off the Talia there, who was looking to grab that.
Now, I think it's important not to forget about the Jinx in this game, kind of silently scaling in the background. You know, Weeknight's kind of been, like, on the back foot for most of this game, bar that one dragon fight that they won. But I think things are really going to kick off in another 5, maybe 10 minutes when Jinx finally hits that power spike of hers.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, she kind of has already. Of course, she wants more items. You never want to stop scaling as the Jinx, but she's hit the 2-item power spike. She's got the boots. She's building into what I'm guessing is going to be an IE here. Based on just the kind of, you know, slow nature of this game. She doesn't necessarily need anything too defensive. She can look just to grab that damage and maybe pick up a couple of kills. But I could be wrong there. I'm not a Jinx connoisseur by any means. And certainly not the #1 Jinx OCE. That's not me. But that is him, so we'll definitely see what Viper with that.
One can dream, guys. It looks like Lycia getting the insect onto Gwen. Looks like if they can pick up this kill before the dragon, it would be absolutely substantial. But it looks like they're not picking up that kill at all. It looks like they're going in for a team fight instead. 3 kills coming down for Massive so far. That Swain coming in clutch with the big AoE damage. Lycia picking up another kill onto the Jinx. Jinx kind of not really having an opportunity to get too many autos off this fight. Massive just opting for the Baron core here instead. Looks like they're gonna, if I had to guess, they would take the Baron and move towards Dragon Soul. But Gwen did live, and it looks like they're gonna, she's gonna stop him from making that play.
Most definitely, I did actually mistime my finger there. I meant to get a replay on that one, but unfortunately we don't have that. But very well played from the side of Massive. I just wanted to point out a couple of things that they had done there. They've really playing together as a team. They seem to be on the same page. Every play they make, the rest of the team, like I said, really is on the same page. They're following up great, and it's playing in their favor. That again, Gwen might be 4-1, but if they can't really deal with what Massive's dishing out, then they're just going to continue to fall behind.
Well, Gwen is really good into a lot of the members of Massive's draft. You know, it's really, really hard for people with like targeted range abilities to get onto Gwen. So picks like the Azir, picks like the Swain, the Senna, they're gonna have a really, really hard time getting any damage off onto the Gwen. It's kind of gonna be on Mind Goblins and Pirate Pat to kind of like jump onto her and get that engage happening. You know, as we're saying that, Swain surviving this team fight in the mid lane. Looks like the Wither Orb comes down onto Gwen. Gwen getting a bunch of damage onto Swain. She's being ignored in the back line. More damage down. Looks like the Zhonya's just popped from... I didn't even see who that was, but his body's being dropped left, right, and center. There's 3 dead so far. Pirate Pat looking worse for wear. Talia picks up another kill. Talia ults down onto Mind Goblins. Looks like Mind Goblins is going to be killed. Oh!
No, he's going to pick up the kill.
No, he's not.
And he might turn that into a double.
Baby.
That's Wukong, baby. Mind Goblin these nuts. He's done it again. Absolutely crazy player. Looks like the shield coming down from center. He picks up another kill onto Lulu. Mind Goblin's stealing the show. More damage on the Aatrox. He's going to pick up another one. Oh my god. And this is why. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, he is my favorite player from this cup. There's no other reason, I promise. There's no other reason.
All right, and I don't know how much of that we would call, but I do want to jump to the replay and just look at some of the display that we had coming out from Mind Goblin there on the Wukong. So we'll jump over to that. At this point, you can still see the Lulu is alive. Unfortunately, I couldn't clip more than this here. But just the kind of transitioning over to the Lulu, stopping the one thing that's kind of keeping Aatrox alive, and then Aatrox really just has to run away, and he doesn't get to do that. So the second that we saw the kill come onto Lulu there, I think maybe Karante should have backed up. But look, regardless, 8-0 and 7 on the Wukong. I guess we can understand why it's being picked or banned every single game, and particularly from Massive, I'm surprised it wasn't banned out this game.
Wukong is correct. It's just the best, one of the best junglers on this patch. I'd say the best jungler on this patch, unless someone else comes to mind, Droz.
No, not really. Look, honestly, I haven't played a lot of jungle this patch. I've been enjoying playing other roles and just kind of having a bit more fun with League than stressing myself out with jungle.
Karante in big trouble here. He's getting the 4-man top lane special. Again, Dyrus. It looks like he's come out of retirement just for these OCE amateur games. Big damage coming down onto Gwen. Gwen just getting absolutely... Oh, I can't say that either, but, you know, there was a lot of people on her at once, and she did not have a good time. That's all I'm going to say.
Definitely. And look, I don't think this 73% win rate, number 1 OCE, number 21 global Jinx is going to be able to do anything this game. And look, honestly, nothing against him either. He hasn't played the game poorly coming from the side of Viper. We saw the display he had in the last game, but, you know, with the team comp coming out from the side of Massive and the strength that they have, it's just really hard for him to do much. As you can see there, he just gets instantly chunked from the Wukong.
Massive has just a massive comp. It's been really, really hard for Weeknight to deal with. Looks like Aatrox managed to get the flank on the enemy team. Nah getting the ulti down onto Aatrox. Looks like they're just looking to kite back here. They don't want this fight. Swain is dead. It's a 4v5, and it looks like they just want to reset and look towards some of the other objectives that will be spawning very soon, such as the dragon.
Yeah, most definitely. And look, both teams on 2 dragons at the moment, but without a doubt, I can only imagine that Massive is going to look to be grabbing Soul Point. And then they'll move on to the Soul more than likely after that, if the game even goes on for that long. Look, there's only a 5k gold deficit, so not nearly as big as it was in the last game, and we saw a comeback from a 10k gold deficit almost in that game. So with that in mind, I don't think this game is necessarily over by any means for either side here. But regardless, Massive are playing very well on the map, and if they keep that up, I don't think it matters how much either team scales or how long the game goes for. Massive is just in control.
Well said.
Okay, a little bit of invading coming into the bot side, setting up vision for this dragon here. And I do actually, I'm not too sure where the timers have gone, but we can see it's definitely looking like it's going to spawn in the next couple of seconds.
Aatrox popping R to get away from the center route, but...
I don't know if it was too necessary with his team just behind him, but maybe he felt it was so okay.
Just seeing Massive here just getting as much priority as they can in the mid lane before the dragon spawns. Well, you know, as the dragon spawns, I should say. With Mind Goblins already soloing it, and Massive now looking to rotate to the bot side of the map.
Yeah, and I imagine they're just going to look to keep pushing in here. They've already gotten the top in here. They're looking to kind of grab the bot tower. I don't know if they'll be able to go for the hit.
Oh yeah, I think they do. I think they do get it because Lulu and Jinx are still out of the fight, just as the time being. Looks like they're just going to pop that tower, walk away, and possibly set up for the Baron, which is spawning on the other side of the map very soon.
Yeah, we could see Weeknight Warriors looking to maybe chase us a little bit, but they've noticed that they're backing up. They're going to go set up vision for the Baron and give themselves the best chance of coming back on this.
Well, looks like Weeknight might get a pick down onto the enemy top laner. Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Pirate Pat goes down finally. Looks like Mind Goblins is in a bit of trouble.
Coming out from Jinx there. She picks up her first kill of the game, which is great. She's got that IE spike. Maybe this is the fight we see her shine.
Yeah, maybe, and you know, it being a 4v5, I think it would be really impressive to see Massive pull off a successful team fight here. Looks like Swain coming in, he's going to get a lot of value from his ult here, just being in the middle of all these people. Aatrox in the backline just does not have enough damage. Mind Goblins in their backline, dropping the Wukong are really just a lot of damage coming out. You know, Jinx can position as far back as she wants, but she needs to be in auto range, and Lycia knows that, so he insects her just straight back into the team. Senna picking up the last kill. All 5 dead for Weeknight Warriors, and Massive looking to possibly end the game through top here.
Yeah, so 2 still up for, well, I believe it was 1 up, and then another one spawning on the side of Nah there because he got picked early. They might look to end this out here. And I think they're going to be able to. We've only got Lulu spawning in 6 seconds, 13 seconds on the next champion, and I think that's going to be the game for the side of Massive. So very well played by them.
Great performance from Massive tonight.
There we go, and a
Really,
little bit of
really
BM
good.
coming down onto Lulu. Can they pick up the kill? They've got the kill on Lulu too, just to play in the game.
And
Yeah,
Nah
amazing
ends the
display.
game neutral. Wow, they really needed to make sure they did that before before the end of the game.
Alright, I want to quickly transition just really quick to a little replay just from that last fight. It was a very long fight, so we can only see what we've got here. But for the most part, you can kind of just see back and forth. The Jinx did get some decent distance, was able to get up some autos, but we see, I believe it was the Azir engage on top of the, onto the Jinx. Jinx falls down, a kill coming out from Gwen, which was great for the side of Weeknight Warriors, but Massive really just cleaned that one up and then moved on to end the game. So very well played from, I'd say, both teams. Massive definitely played maybe better as a team with their coordination and their kind of map play. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the Aatrox come out like I was expecting to kind of pop off, or the Jinx, unfortunately. I'm sure we'll see more from them in the future, though. But yeah, any closing thoughts on that game?
Mind Goblins is still my favorite, and he will continue to be. If he keeps performing like that, I just, you know, follow me on Twitter, Mind Goblins, please. It's VSP Fuzz. Just hit me up. I'm the biggest fan.
There we go. Heard it here. Biggest fan over at VSP Fuzz on Twitter. If you want to pop him a follow too. Just a final thought going into the next couple of weeks. Are we going to see that Wukong banned from Mind Goblin?
Yeah, I'd say that they, you know, I think that they've run it every game. I might be wrong. I think that they've definitely run it majority of their games, at least 2 out of 3, and they can't keep letting it through. You know, Mind Goblins has just been really dominant on the Wukong, and I'm getting sick of seeing it. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I just want to see some different junglers come out.
I'm on the same page there. We will jump over to intermission before we get into our 3rd game of the night, which, if I recall, is Avalanche. So finally, you'll have your fix there with Avalanche on stream, going up against Hot Pot Buffet. So Avalanche more than likely going to be the favorites in this matchup. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, but we will jump to intermission and we'll catch you guys shortly.
Can't wait to see it.
A broken glass while I'm thinking in my head. I mind my own, I don't even break a sweat. Oh, this madness is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. Untold stories, they were left behind. Silent breeze, I got nothing on my mind. This madness is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights.
go, there's no doubt. Gotta get out of this small town. You took my heart from me, now you're everywhere I see. Set me free, let me fly, let me find new kinds of highs. We're just wasting here, waiting for another year. We both know the score, we've been here once before. So many words unspoken, you took my heart, it's already broken. You don't have to wait, I can take the pain. I will surrender, let me go on a new adventure. On a new adventure. On a new adventure. Let me go, it's my time. Watch me build another life. Find another space. Explore the world and find my place. Hope you find some peace of mind. Hope the night was worth your time. Threw my heart away, we won't see another day. We both know the score, we've been here once before. So many words unspoken, you took my heart, it's already broken. You don't have to wait, I can take the pain. I will surrender, let me go. It's a new adventure. On a new adventure. You'll find me dancing on my own. Nowhere to be, nowhere to go. In the rhythm, I don't think of you. Don't call me up when you're feeling blue. You'll find me dancing on my own. Nowhere to be, nowhere to go. In the rhythm, I don't think of you. Let me go. It's a new adventure. On a new adventure.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. A storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
I remember the days, always at the same place, the same people every day. I will never forget this black old Corvette standing in front of my way. We were both in high school. I thought I was a fool. Oh, when I was falling for you. You keep drawing me in, and I know it's a sin. But even so, yeah, I need you. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. Feels so bittersweet, knowing I can leave. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. I can feel the beat on my heart and peace. 'Cause you taste like candy. Cause you taste like candy. Candy. Cause you taste like candy. I remember the night when you kissed me goodbye, and I said I'd be just fine. The next day you were gone, packed your car and moved on. But looking back, I still want you.
Okay, and we are back here with just a little bit of an analysis going into the last game. So we had a very interesting display in the last game that we just had. Sorry, very fun to watch. It was a little bit slow at the start. I'm curious as to how this game's going to go, but I have a slight suspicion, and I'll get into that in just a second. As for teams, so we have Hot Pot on, I believe, on blue side. I have to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it's on blue side. And then we have Avalanche blue on red side. Avalanche, in my opinion, looking to be maybe one of the, if not the favorite of the tournament. They've had an amazing display in the last 2 weeks. They're currently 2-0. On the contrary, Hot Pot, I think, are 0-2, which they are, yeah. So we mentioned that earlier, 0-2 versus the 2-0. We'd love an underdog story. I don't know if that's going to happen here. Avalanche looking extremely powerful in this tournament.
Yeah, well, I mean, evidently from the first game, Avalanche has been on my mind most of the night. So I'm happy to see them finally playing at the moment. You know, they've been extremely dominant in all the games they've played so far. Hot Pot have been playing well as a team, but I think, you know, if we're talking about favorites moving into this game, I'm going to have to give it over to Avalanche. But that's just, you know, and we've had upsets already tonight, so maybe Hot Pot pulls a C9 and they just
completely wipe the floor with Avalanche, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, looking at roles again, what I'm expecting, we haven't seen a lot of it tonight. I guess we saw the Samira in game 1, which was quite dominant, but I really want to see an ADC or a bot lane kind of really take control. I'm hoping that comes out here from Hooper 1, which was going to refer to as Hooper, but I could be wrong in saying this. I believe in the first week when I had a look, he was ranked 16 OC, so he is quite a top tier player. Definitely knows what he's doing. Has been on, I believe, Avalanche for a little while too, from what I've seen. That could be wrong in saying that. And I think he might be the star of the show tonight. That being said, Avalanche, a really strong team all around, and I'm interested to see what they bring to this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that in a lot of teams you can pick out a weak link, and there isn't really an obvious one on Avalanche's draft. They have a team of full master to challenger players. They're all extremely, just well-rounded. It's just a good team. They're just an overall really good team, and I want to see Hot Pot perform well versus them. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see what drafts come out and how these games go moving forward.
Awesome. We shouldn't be too far off Champ Select now, so a couple of closing thoughts just while we jump into an intermission and wait for that to start up. We look on the side of, and you mentioned weak links, we look on the side of Hot Pot. So they do have a Grandmaster player, they do have a Master and a Diamond 1 player, so they have some higher ranks there. Then coming out from what I would say is one of the more crucial roles, ADC, their player is only a Plat 2. Now, rank doesn't always mean absolutely everything, but when you're going up against Hooper, who is a proven player, who is a challenger player at the moment, one of the top 50 on the server, you've really got to be worried there, and it's going to be interesting to see what this matchup does. And I would say if they can go even in lane, might be a bit of credit to the side of Hot Pot there.
Absolutely, and you know what? I wouldn't think of it as a skill disparity in the bot lane. I mean, it very well could be, but I think of it more as a chance for Hot Pot's ADC to get some respect from putting Hooper in the dirt, after this game. So,
all right, I don't mean to cut you off there, Fuzz. We have jumped straight into Champ Select, so we're going to transition over to that screen, and we can continue, of course, talking.
No problems.
But here we are into Champ Select.
I don't need more enemies.
Okay, so the center ban. Yeah. Not surprised on that one. What's your take on center after the last game, though?
I mean, I would be lying if I said center wasn't impactful last game. So I kind of want to see more of it just so I get more of an understanding of, how center looks on this patch. But I can completely understand why they're getting rid of it. Last game it did look really impactful.
Yeah, most definitely. A couple of other bands coming out. Lucian, quite a decent champ all round. I'm not too sure if... I mean, maybe there's something they know that we don't. I don't think I'd be too worried about it if I were Hooper, but maybe they just have a plan in mind or a pick in mind that they don't want to deal with a Lucian. A couple of other standard bands. I think Graves is a really standard band. The Riven, maybe not so standard, but if it's something that Wudon likes to play... or Woodon, sorry, I'm not sure if I'm saying that one correctly, but it's a respectable ban, especially if you know your enemy's going to play it. Do you want to make a comment on that one there? Because I have no words.
As far as the Riven ban goes?
No,
well,
as far
as
the... sorry, I was just got you off. As far as the first pick Wukong goes.
You don't want to know my thoughts. You really don't. You really don't. I've said my piece on Wukong tonight, and I just keep seeing him. He's like a... Oh my god, he's like a toxic ex. He just keeps coming back.
He's a little bit like my COVID cough right now. It doesn't want to go away, but it is what it is. And you can see Viego picked against it. I imagine it's going to be Wukong jungle. It has been every time so far, but again, always a possible flex. And Choke would be a very interesting one. I have a feeling they don't lock that here, but I could be wrong.
Jace? I don't think this is a champion we've... Oh, never mind. It looks like... I've spoken too soon. They're just hovering champs right now. I'll wait for him to actually lock something in before I start making some judgments on it. How about that, Jess? Okay. You see the Yorick? No. Wait. Okay, I'm watching this.
You might be a little bit delayed. Yeah. You might be on the wrong stream.
My apologies, boys. Okay. Here I am. Oriana. Looks like we have a little bit of a Jacko cosplayer on the side of ABL Blue here.
I like to see it. I really like watching Oriana in these like amateur pro games. I think it's really interesting to see the like micromanaging skill that some of the higher ranked players can bring out. And they have like a team of full master tier players, if I remember correctly. So seeing some master tier Oriana micromanaging, I'm always down to see. I'm always down to see. It's going to be really interesting to watch.
Definitely. I've seen a lot of high skill Oriana players in my time. Definitely one of the more fun champs to watch. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I could be wrong. We did see an Oriana in the first week. I think it might have also been from Avalanche. So if that were the case, definitely expecting to see a great display, because I do remember that being a great display the first time as well. But it could be in a different team. I might be recalling incorrectly. We see the Victor counter pick. So another kind of scaling champion for the most part. I think in that matchup, it's actually quite an... I could be wrong in saying this, but I think it's quite an even one. They can both impact the game really well, especially in the late game.
I think, I'm not a mid lane player, but I could only imagine that the wave clear is probably matched, but I think Victor just kind of outpokes Oriana with just the sheer range on his E.
Yeah, definitely very well put. Going back in through the second phase of bans here, we did see a Xayah pick come out. Xayah, one of the more like standard ADCs at the moment. Actually, probably one of the more less played ADCs, I think. I'm not too sure how she fares overall with kind of poking people down, especially being tankier. Maybe the builds change a little bit. We'll see when we get into the game. But bans coming out. Gwen, definitely a respectable ban. Renata, not a champ we see a lot, but definitely another respectable one. What's your take on those two?
The Gwen and Renata bans? Well, Gwen has been picked quite a few games this tournament so far, and I'm all for it. I like that champion, and any champion that does like true damage after the durability patch just kind of makes sense. That's why KO was seeing so much play directly after the patch. And it's also probably why Camille just got banned. So I'm happy to see the Gwen ban this game. It makes things a little bit more interesting on how they're going to go about these fights, and it's less of just more of a smash your face into the enemy top laner's face until they're dead type beat. Renata, I don't really have too many thoughts on Renata. She's still a new champion, and I don't play bot lane, so I can't really give you as much as you would probably hope.
No, that's okay. Look, we see the Ornn, which I know has been mentioned a couple of times today. We see the Ornn ban coming through, so maybe one that we have a little bit more insight on. Definitely a respectable ban with the current patch. Just overall, he's a very impactful team play champion, especially for scaling comps. So it's understandable to see him banned out. And are we seeing the Xayah Rakan? We are. No, we're not. Sorry, it switched last second. Bard, another Bard.
That's a weird Rakan skin.
That's my bad there. It was at the 1 second, and I was almost positive that was going to be locked in. Second Bard of the night. You know what? I will say I've seen Assist Ping play a couple of games, be it in the tournament and also off tournament, and just kind of solo queue-wise. Very great roaming player. I think in the first game we also saw him. I could be wrong in saying this again. I might be getting the game mixed up. But I think we also saw him playing Leona. And he had a couple of spicy roams there, so I'm hoping to see that come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Bard is kind of built for that. So, if we don't see spicy roams from Assist Ping this game, I think it might be time for Avalanche to look for a new support player. So we'll have to keep. You guys will probably have to keep that in mind after this game. I'm an expert on drafting these tournament players into teams. So, if you ever want any advice from me, just hit me up. I promise I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Last couple of picks. Jinx, a very solid one all around. I'm more of a scaling one. I am a little bit worried about the early game coming out from the side of Hot Pot. I guess you've got the Wukong, who is quite useful in the early game. You've got a scaling mid for the most part. You've got a scaling ADC. You've got a top laner who really can't do a whole lot. And then they've just picked Kayle into that as well. So I think on the side of Malphite, he's going to suffer a lot. I think it's going to be pretty hard for Wukong to really get anything off. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Hot Pot kind of deals with those little mishaps there, potentially.
Oh my god, you don't understand the shivers that went down my spine as soon as I saw the KO pick. It is absolutely nightmarish champion to verse this patch, and I feel bad for sole bad guy in the top lane who's going to be going up against it. It really is rough to verse. But, maybe Malphite is a bit of a sleeper
a sleeper counter pick into KO. Maybe they can make it work, but we'll just have to see how it goes moving forward. I see lots of wombo combo potential coming out from Hot Pot this game.
Yeah, most definitely. Both teams have scaling. I think maybe a little bit more of an early game coming out from Avalanche. I think just a better all-round team comp coming out from Avalanche in general, to be honest. We are transitioning to get into game. Before we do that, I want to bring up something I just noticed off the stream. So we had off-stream MCOM versus Lions. I just want to make note of the fact that the MCOM win in that game had a Wukong. So will that be the impactful pick this game? Will Hot Pot win due to the fact that they have a Wukong? Let's wait and find out as we jump into this intermission.
Bit of a Wukong diff. We'll have to see.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
Richie Palo on top, that's a fucking problem. Russian cream, suede seats like we hit the ladder. And I hold on to my pride, cause you know where I'm from. And I grip that bottle tight, I'ma sip it till it's done. I'ma take that corner wide while I'm screaming red rum. You the Bonnie to my Clyde, now we really on one. Now I know you wanna party all night, mix the Henny with Bacardi. All night in that Giorgio Armani. All white, and I know you love that vodka with peace Sprite. Can I hit it in the morning? Cause I'm flying, man, I'm soaring. I'm just going through the motions. There's no telling where we're going. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it all now. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. See the evil eye every time we pull up. Talking about the fakes, but that's not us. You know you can call me Dundada. Baby, we gon' pull up to the opera. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it all now. I'm a playboy like Sinatra.
I know that you're afraid, it feels like every day things are slipping away, you're slipping away. And you think back to a time that you were lost. Thoughts disorganized, can't seem to dry your eyes, and chaos is collapsing from your mind. And you say that you're fine, but now you're out of time. Out of time. You're out of time. You're out of time. And now you're out of time. Now you're out of time. Never measure up, you'll never be enough. People say tough love, you should just suck it up. And you think back to a time that you were lost. Thoughts disorganized, can't seem to dry your eyes, and chaos is collapsing from your mind. And you say that you're fine, but now you're out of time. Out of time. You're out
Okay, hello. We are into game 3. So as mentioned, Hot Pot Buffet, Avalanche Blue. Let's see what these teams can do. So again, Hot Pot on blue side here.
For that to rhyme, Drez.
It was not intentional, but we run with it. We run with it.
Absolutely.
30 seconds until
Oh
minions
god.
spawn.
Now, I think someone in Twitch chat managed to point out that the hot pot ADC's name means milk in Chinese. I'm not sure the validity of that, but if that's true, that is Hooper versus Milk in the bot lane, and I'm really excited to see that matchup.
Definitely, hopefully going to be a good one. I think all around this game will be a good one. I'm expecting Avalanche to show an amazing display. So all eyes will be on them.
Minions have spawned.
And we'll see how that goes. Again, 5-point defense seems to be the standard today. Over all 3 games, we've seen pretty much a standard 5-point defense. Both
Not
teams
too many invades. Yeah, we're usually seeing lots of invades, whether it's on the top side or the bot side, but you know, none today, which is it's unusual for these games.
Yeah, I mean, it could have something to do with the current patch. I could be wrong there, but look, skirmishing in the early game, it's maybe not where teams' priority is at the moment. So a little bit of a skirmish in the mid lane, but kind of all things standard here. Again, going back to a couple of picks. All eyes, I think, on the bot lane. Hooper being quite a recognized player, and quite a good one at that. And then also, potentially, all eyes on this matchup mid lane, seeing what they do here.
Yeah, absolutely. We see some light trading going on in the mid and the bot lane. You know, I assume it's going to be one of those games that just kind of runs really slowly. You know, they have 2 scaling mid laners. They have like 2 top laners that don't really want to be looking for solo kills. It's more of just a farm lane. And I'd say that the lane we're more likely to see kills in would be bot lane, but that kind of comes down to whether or not Nautilus can get a proper engage onto either the Bard or the Xayah. So they both hit level 2 at the same time. Nautilus moving forward with the hook, gets the hook down onto Bard. Xayah pulls in all of her feathers, lots of damage coming down onto Nautilus. He needs to flash away. Ignite heal being used across the board. Looks like Jinx being a bit greedy with the flash here, but she does get out with her life.
Yeah, very close one there for the Jinx. Flashing earlier may have been beneficial, as I'm sure one more auto would have cleaned her up. We do see both junglers actually coming down towards the bot side jungle there, and I wonder if another play will be made. It looks as though potentially Viego is looking to grab that red, and it did look like it just there.
So Viego is in danger of being collapsed on here. We'll have to see how that goes.
It looks like for the most part he's going to get out. He does have the Bard hovering him, Bard on the roam while Xayah resets. Unfortunate.
I see 3 men coming down onto the Victor in the mid lane. Flash does get dropped. I think Victor still makes it out. Yes, he does. Looks like Avalanche just wasn't ready to commit the rest of their summoners to taking down Victor there.
Yeah, and we see the flash come out from the Wukong, cleans up the kill on the Viego there, who dropped all of his health to the tower. So a bit of a trade there, maybe not worth the overcommitment, but I'm sure Avalanche is still happy nonetheless at the moment, with Hooper having that kill in the bot lane.
You know, I've noticed something, Drez. Every time that we say it's going to be a slow game or a chill game or a farm game, it's almost like they hear us and they're like, you know what, let's up the ante a little bit. Let's make that a little bit more of a high tempo experience for the viewers. Looks like another hook coming from Nautilus landing down onto the Bard. Bard has no summoners get away. He uses the magical journey to get away. Looks like Viego coming down with the stun onto Wukong. Xayah roots 2 members of the team with the feathers. Nautilus goes down. Bard goes down. Kills being traded left, right, and center. Avalanche and Hot Pot coming away with 1 kill each out of that exchange.
Yeah, I will say the kill ended up on the Jinx for the side of Hot Pot there, which is probably where they want to look for. They've got a scaling team all round, but they got 1 kill on the Wukong, who's going to look to kind of use that for the early pressure, but they also want this Jinx not to fall behind, especially as we were talking, potentially being the biggest skill disparity in the bot lane from New Nai. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be said. Again, we do know it's Chinese. And Hooper, who, again, is currently a challenger player. So
Someone bring up Google Translate and put milk in there and see if see
I'm
what the pronunciation's like.
Oh, the pronunciation? I can't do that, unfortunately, to play on stream, and we don't want that to play through. But it'd be interesting to know how to say that. I don't speak fluent Mandarin, so...
Well, we'll have to just take their word for it.
Oh, I'm sure it's true.
Coming in to help Orianna shove out that mid wave so she can get that reset.
New Nai, there we go. New Nai. Okay.
New Nai.
Thank you for that one. It makes it a little bit easier, and we can now say his name without any problems.
New Nai. Milk. Okay.
Pretty standard stuff coming out now. It's slowed down just a little bit. Look, we did mention team comp wise, teams probably want to look to scale, play it slow, but the other thing to remember as well is that we are looking at potentially one of the biggest skill disparities in the tournament. So we have potentially one of the highest ranked and more experienced teams in the tournament up against a little bit more of a, I don't want to call them out for anything because I'm not too sure on what they do behind the scenes, but maybe a little bit more of a makeshift team that hasn't really been around a whole lot. It hasn't really been seen. In terms
I might have to
of...
cut you off here. Looks like KO is going to be dove under a tier 2 top lane tower. Looks like a pretty clean dive going towards Hot Pot there. They pick up the kill pretty easily. Malphite only having to pop flash and his R.
Yeah, it looks like
really
that went
good
over to
time to
Vic
do
too.
that.
So very
Yeah.
great pick up from them. Well played.
Really good time to make that dive with KO losing that entire wave to the tower, and she's now stuck on level 5. You know, if they waited for that wave to die, then that would have been an impossible dive for Avalanche to make.
Most definitely. And they forced the TP out of the Kayle as well, so that's great for them. I'm sure that Malphite will happily just walk to lane knowing that he has the TP advantage now too.
Absolutely.
But
looks like
yep. Sorry, go ahead.
pretty chilled out across the map though, as far as it goes. Usually, like, it's more of a bloodbath in most of the games I play. These patches. However, I'm not playing nearly at all at like a rank similar to these people, so you know. Maybe that's something to take into consideration.
Most definitely. And on that topic, as I was mentioning, in terms of skill disparity, again, no discredit to Hot Pot, but that we are looking at, again, probably the favorites in the tournament up against a team that hasn't, I don't think, won a game just yet. So 2-0, 0-2. Although we might see more of a slower style comp coming out from both teams and teams that want to scale, Avalanche is going to be on top of the ball when it comes to looking for those picks, making those plays, and roaming as a team. And that's something that we may start to see if any kills that get picked up.
Another hook from Nautilus landing. He just can't miss. And you know what? It might be his detriment because it looks like he is going to be picked up by the Bard here with Ignite. Really unfortunate, you know, just... I guess the Hot Pot support's just too good. He can't actually miss these hooks, and it's just it's not ending well for them.
Looking like it might be his downfall. 0-3 coming out from the side of Hot Pot on
suffering from success. Someone make it a meme.
It does seem that way, but look, maybe he'll grab a couple of really important hooks later. Avalanche has taken the opportunity to grab the dragon, so early Mountain Dragon, like we mentioned in the last game, very impactful with this patch. And, you know, I think the gold lead was in Hot Pot's favor before that, but it's swayed a little bit now. And as I would expect, as I said.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Avalanche picking up that early Mountain Dragon, it sets them up to have a really tanky rest of the game. You know, Kayle is up about 15 CS, roughly 300 gold in the top lane. She's just kind of looking to scale. You know, the rest of their team can kind of just chill out from this point onwards if they wanted to. I doubt that's going to happen, but you know, they can really just play it slow towards the end of the game, and they will probably still come out of it all right as long as Victor doesn't get too far ahead.
Definitely, Victor's the one to look out for. Jinx as well, of course, can be insane in the late game fights. And they also have a very strong wombo with the Malphite, the Wukong, and the Nautilus in those late games, so they can look for picks if they do get the opportunity. That being said, I think a little bit more scaling and probably a little bit more coordination more likely coming out from the side of Avalanche. So we'll see how Hot Pot deals with that one.
Yeah, we see you are right now. We have the jungler, Avalanche's jungler moving towards the top side of the map. We see his Krog camp just respawning now. You know, I'd like to note that there's no real objectives to take on the bottom side of the map with Dragon being down, so I can only assume that they're going to be playing for this Herald in the next few minutes. We'll have to see how that goes, with which team that goes over to. It might swing the game back in Hot Pot's favor if they can manage to pick it up.
Definitely. I think from coming up from top side, though, we'll notice that the aggressor here is likely going to be the Kayle, despite her being 0-1. We do see potentially a fight coming out top lane. But also an in-lane gank coming from Viego, so we'll see how this one plays out. Kayle very clearly kind of...
2v2 in the top lane. Kayle ult coming down early. It looks like Malphite just just got shredded, and he couldn't really do much about it. Viego turns into Malphite, tries to ult away, but Wukong picks up the kill onto Viego. It looks like Wukong just walks it off back to tower. Kayle gets to crash the wave and probably look for a reset. We see Victor was hovering towards the top side of the map, but he does need to move it straight back towards mid lane now just to pick up that wave. Otherwise he's going to end up behind Orianna.
A lot happening all around the map, and
looks like Orianna looking for the solo kill onto Victor. Both ults coming out from both the players, both flashes. Orianna picks up the kill. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe she has been watching those Jacko VODs.
And potentially another little skirmish in the bot lane. He has another hook.
Nautilus again suffering from success, landing another hook and dying for it. This guy just cannot catch a break.
Yes.
He cannot catch a
So
break. He's
suffering from success is going to be the story of his life after this game, I think. But it's just about discipline. It's knowing when to throw that hook, when you can and can't win the fight, and I think he's got the mechanics when it comes to throwing the hook, but that's not... I don't think that was intentional actually coming out from Hooper there on the execute, but it is what it is.
We call it a fastback in this industry, to be honest.
It was only an execute, so I'm sure it's not the end of the world. Although they may have been able to pick up another plate if she hadn't done that.
You gotta think, Draz, challenger player, he has a different mind compared to the rest of us. He really did just want to go back, get that item, and just, walk straight back to lane. I think he picked up a dagger there, and that, you know what? That could make all the difference.
He had picked up a
really
dagger.
could.
I'm not too sure. Did he have that Gale Force completed prior to that back?
I'm not sure. Can we use the replay mechanic to find out?
I don't think we can. It's a little bit late for that. I will take note of that one later, though, build-wise, and we'll see what we can do.
Absolutely.
You
You
know?
see Nautilus coming mid lane to help Victor shove out that wave, get that wave under tower. Bard coming in top lane. I think he was seen... Oh, wow. I don't think he actually was. Never mind. Looks like
No,
they might be
definitely
able to
wasn't.
pick up a little cheeky kill onto Malphite here. We do have Wukong walking up for the potential 2v2. Looks like that is happening. One knock-up from Malphite, two knock-ups. If you count the Wukong knock-up as well. Looks like he flashes onto Kayle and finally takes her down. Malphite probably able to just walk away here, but instead he opts for the re-engage, and he gets out alive anyway. The Victor and Wukong damage was just too much for Viego to handle. And looks like Bard taking the magical journey away into the tower, into safety. Wow.
Yeah, and it looks like he'll get out there. I do want to jump back to that fight, so we will watch a quick replay on that one. Hopefully it starts from a decent point. But... here. Yeah, so you can see Wukong pretty much just ran down the Kayle. Very well played on his part. They knew, potentially knew that the Viego was roaming up, but they took that risk. Viego unfortunately doesn't get the clean up on Malphite, which could have turned that fight there and given him an ulti cast, and then realistically a hot pot just ends up cleaning up for the most part. So very well played on the side of hot pot. That being said, Avalanche still with the advantage here. And
Yeah, you said it well said.
back.
How good's that replay mechanic, Jazz?
Hey, look, it's very good when it works. But
When
that's
it works.
okay. That's okay. We'll iron out some kinks, and I'm sure it'll be more functional each and every week.
Absolutely. You see Viego position on the bot side of the map, just as the dragon spawns. Maybe they look for a dive onto the bot lane here, but it looks like they're just looking for the Wukong in his jungle. Lots of damage coming down onto Wukong. Viego looking for blood. Bard with the ulti catches Wukong in it. Looks like it sets up the Viego stun. The stun lands. Hooper coming in, landing all these feathers. Big root coming down. Orianna ults. It's just a bloodbath. There's abilities being used left, right, and center. A TP from Malphite. Looks like he can get the R onto there. I don't think he looks for it though. He just lets him live.
He doesn't have it at the moment, actually. So he's about 5 seconds
wow.
out. So it looks like it's going to be up now. There we go. So 5 seconds later, and that play could have been amazing for him. The TP, unfortunately, just kind of coming out defensively, and they're not able to grab anything from that. Now the side of Avalanche might look to pick up a kill in the Jinx here.
Milk kiting back in the bot lane. Looks like Bard lands that stun against the wall. Hooper picks up another kill for Avalanche. Crazy, crazy stuff.
Yeah, and it was as I mentioned. Look, spotlight all on the bot lane here. Hooper, an amazing player, 5-1-3 at the moment. He's up about 40 CS. Definitely in the lead. And then also assist ping, making a lot of roams. We've seen him everywhere. We've seen him mid, we've seen him top, we've seen him in the enemy bot side jungle. These are the kind of players that we're expecting to see coming out from this bot lane. And I think, honestly, it's credit to them for the team being so far ahead at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it looks like Hotbot's is kind of licking their wounds at the moment, getting some vision cleared out in the bot side. Maybe they're looking for the dragon. Looks like Wukong's just about started it at the moment. And it looks like Avalanche is responding by invading the top side jungle, maybe looking to take down the Malphite and steal some camps.
Hey,
And
so-
that's the air dragon going over to Hotbot there.
Yeah, so look, Cloud Drake not too important for these teams, I don't think, or at least in my opinion. Couple of champs that would benefit from it, of course, but you know, the Ocean Dragon or Ocean Soul coming out now would be probably a little bit more important. Alright, and well played by Hooper. Picks up the shutdown on the Wukong there. Might even look to follow it up with a Jinx kill.
Bard ults the tower, Hooper just moving forward, dropping feathers down onto Milk. And it looks like... it just feels a bit better to call him Milk now that I know that. It looks like Malphite ult comes down onto Hooper. Hooper has no escapes. Looks like the kill goes over to... Oh, they really don't want to take it, but it looks like the Malphite ends up with the almost 1k shutdown. I bet he's going to buy a lot of armor with that one.
Yeah, I mean, look, he potentially will opt for the armor. He has opted for the Merc Treads, which is understandable. But I think that the KO matchup in the top lane is really just giving him a bit of issue.
So Viego going to pick up another kill here onto Victor. It looks like Viego's just been kind of walking around and killing people. You know, it's been really fun to watch. Wow, another hook coming down from Nautilus onto Bard there. Nothing will come of it, but like I said before, this guy just cannot miss his hooks. He has a condition.
And then definitely, like we mentioned, maybe slightly more discipline, and those hooks could be maybe fixed.
But Milk does go down, and Orianna picks up another kill for Avalanche. Looks like she's going to pick up another one onto the Malphite as well.
Double kill for her. 303 on this Orianna. I'd say just about everyone from the side of Avalanche is kind of sitting where they want to. I think Viego maybe not happy with the 4 deaths that he has, but it's not the end of the world for him and his team. And KO, look, she just wants to scale. So being 0, 2, and 2, it's really not that big of a deal for her. And she's doing her job. She's 70, 70 CS up on the Malphite. So she's definitely sitting comfortably.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Avalanche picking up the tier 2 mid lane turret here. Orianna getting some damage down onto Wukong, and it's also going to pick up the bot lane turret as well. Hotpot Buffet just kind of bleeding gold all over the map. They are now over 6k gold behind. It's looking a bit dire for them at the moment.
Definitely. It looks as though, just based on the map here, Viego seems to be grabbing the Herald. So another objective on the map for them. They have 5 towers up, well, 4 towers up on Hotpot. But 5 towers in total. Dragon, which is equal on both sides, and it looks like they're going to equal out those Heralds by grabbing their first Herald of the game here as well.
Absolutely. Milk and Nautilus moving through the mid lane here, looking like they're just trying to push it out and get a little bit more priority, but, you know, they just don't have the agency for that. Hooper comes and clears it again. It looks like they're going to try just keep the control for the next Dragon spawn and possibly for the next Baron. Or for when Baron spawns, rather.
Most definitely. Now, I do note that we don't have any Dragon timers on screen. That's not intentional. That was supposed to be sorted out. So we apologize about that. But we can, of course, see on the map, Dragon's still not coming up for at least another minute. But I am sure that Avalanche probably wants to pick this one up at the moment. It seems like Hotpot's totaling just a little bit. And that's going to give them the opportunity just to claim these 3 objectives for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like, you know, the game has entered another one of those chill kind of areas where people are just, you know, moving around, clearing vision, getting vision, just kind of farming, which is more so what I expected just from looking at the comps of these games. We see, you know, Kale level 13, very, very close to, you know, being, you know, as people say, relevant, you know, as soon as she hits that level 16 power spike and starts doing a lot of damage on her auto attacks. Victor, a little bit behind. It's not something we're used to seeing in these, in most of these amateur games. You know, like Victors have been performing quite well across the board in all the teams that have picked him so far.
I would say, yeah, priority-wise, obviously the biggest priority of this tournament seems to be Wukong. Outside of that, I think Victor's been another one of those kind of pick-ban champions. We've seen him in a lot of games. We've seen him banned a lot as well. But obviously it doesn't necessarily guarantee you a win if you pick that champion, just like picking Wukong doesn't guarantee you the win. As of this game, they are falling behind.
Look, Avalanche are moving in for the Baron call now. It's risky that they're doing this while Viego's on the bottom side of the map, but it looks like Hotpot just isn't privy to the fact that they're doing this. So it looks like they're going to be able to pick up Baron and the third dragon of the game.
Most definitely, and they're Hotpot's starting to roam up now. It's way too late. They're going to be able to use Bard Portal out of that as well. They're sitting comfortably. Hotpot maybe can collapse onto this dragon if they have the idea that they're on it. They are roaming down. This could be a potential.
Malphite all comes down onto the Viego. Viego just opting to try finish that dragon. Now he instead ults over the wall. Looks like the dragon goes over to Hotpot Buffet.
Now, I do want to note there was a second player on the side of Avalanche down towards that dragon, and I believe they left the area. Now, I'm not too sure exactly what they did with that. I didn't take note of that. But potentially having two there would have made Hotpot back up a little bit. They would have done the dragon a little bit faster, and Avalanche could have secured it. Unfortunately, yeah, Hotpot picking up that dragon just by having more members on the map.
It looks like it won't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. You know, one ocean dragon is not going to turn the tide of the game, but it's definitely nice as far as Hotpot's concerned. They're trying to get every little win that they can.
Most definitely, and another hook,
coming down onto Bard. Can they capitalize on it? I don't think so. So they're able to disengage pretty effectively.
Now, I do want to say the tankiness coming out from Bard is something that is surprising me a little bit. He's kind of just eating these hooks, and he's really not suffering for them at all.
Well, you know, I'd chalk it up to a couple of things. One of the things being the durability patch, another one being the fact that they have a mountain dragon, and another one being that he has completed Locket, so he does have a bit of resistances behind him now. Yep. Now, it looks like Hooper getting a lot of damage down onto Malphite. Malphite holding the R. He knows that he can't really go in on Hooper until she's used the Zaya. Lots of damage going down onto Milk. Milk finally goes down. Malphite in the front still has not used the Malphite R. Bard ults Hooper preemptively. Malphite R comes down afterwards. Hooper does go down. Viego looks like he's wreaking a bit of havoc in the back line. Killed 1 and 2. He's killed 2 players. Hooked the Wukong, and is now retreating into the topside jungle.
Yeah, very interesting play coming out from both sides. Meanwhile, Kale pushing out the top inhib. She might just opt to take the inhib. Or even
looks like she's going for the kill onto Victor here, but she just doesn't do enough damage, unfortunately. She's not quite hit that item power spike.
Rest of her team coming to back her up. Flash coming down.
Viego does end up cleaning up the Victor there. Looks like he's going to try to get some damage down onto Wukong. Another R moving forward, just always moving forward. Avalanche giving them no breathing room. Milk picks up a kill onto the Viego, and moving forward now with the Jinx passive. Looks like she might be able to pick up another one. No, she will not be able to. Opting to clear the wave instead.
Now, as it looks like it's calming down a little bit, I do want to go back to that team fight, so we'll just pop that replay up here. But you can see the Zaya getting caught out by Nautilus there. She does manage to pick up a double kill before she drops, so a lot coming out from the Wukong as well to provide kind of some return fire there. And yeah, very interesting trade. Probably didn't go the ideal way that Avalanche seen it going. And quite possibly the Bard ulti on top of the Zaya, who was already ulting, which kind of saved herself, might have been the reason for that one. So potentially some more miscommunication coming out from the team there.
Yeah, absolutely. It just looks like, you know, Avalanche is trying to keep that tempo across the map, trying to just keep their farm up, keep those waves pushed out, and just, you know, keep Hotpot Buffet on the back foot. They do have a really scary comp with the Malphite R, and they just really need to be careful about playing these team fights moving forward.
Most definitely. Look, they are 10k gold up, as we've seen for the most part in this tournament. 10k gold up, and just in general in games, usually means the game is over, especially when it comes to team play. But they have, on the side of Hotpot, an amazing wombo that can really, as we saw in that fight, kind of make an upset. I'd say for the most part, it was an even fight, but when you're 10k gold ahead, that's not the kind of fight you want to have.
Exactly. These fights should never be even when they're 10k goals ahead. But that just comes down to the Hotpot playing it well. You know, holding that Malphite R, keeping that threat still there. Because, you know, as soon as Malphite uses the R, the threat is gone. And Hooper can just move forward and just kind of chunk anyone that steps into range.
But while the Malphite R is up and hasn't been used yet, Hooper needs to be constantly wary of the fact that he could at any moment just be rammed.
Yeah, and there we go. He's had to pop his ulti. A lot coming down. Hooper might lose
Hooper
his
in
life.
big trouble here. Looks like Malphite flashed forward to try to clean up Hooper. And he ends up going down, but Hooper goes down as well. Looks like Diego's going to be picking up a couple of kills this fight. Kale getting lots of damage off in the back line. Picks up a kill onto Wukong and onto Jinx. Orianna cleaning up the Victor as well. It looks like that is game. And Avalanche will be able to close out the game here.
Yeah, and that fight went on for a little bit too long, so I wasn't able to clip anything out of that. But that's okay. Honestly, just as we expected fights to go. Unfortunately, Hooper fell quite early, but as with a scaling comp, when they're that far ahead, you know, you see everything coming out from the side of Avalanche. KO hit level 16 at 25 minutes, so quite an early level 16 there as well. Very well played all around the board from Avalanche. A little bit of a skirmish still happening in the mid lane, while the rest of Avalanche is ending out the game. And I think Nautilus misses his first hook of the game. And that's going to be closing out there.
Suffering from success with Hot Pot Buffet's support. You have to watch that documentary when it comes out because it is going to go off.
Most definitely. Games tonight have been amazing. I think we will switch over to cams if that's okay with you. Fuzz, if you're ready for that one, and we'll just kind of close.
Yeah, just give me a second. I gotta get my clothes back on. I got a little bit heated during that last exchange, so you're gonna have to give me a little second. All right, I'll be ready in.
That's okay. I have already transitioned botware. That's not a big deal.
Oh shit.
No, that's okay there.
All right, good. I'm back. I'm professional. I promise. All right.
Okay. No, amazing games coming out tonight, all round. For the most part, they went as we expected. As we said, the one upset potentially being C9 Croc Academy Superstars, and they did come with the upset. So really cool. We love an underdog story. Game 3 here, as I said, went mostly as we expected. Avalanche being quite a decent team all round, a lot further ahead in skill and rank, and just kind of, I'm guessing, games played all round too. But what was your thoughts on kind of how Hot Pot held themselves that game? I think they knew what their win con was and they really tried for it. I don't think they were able to execute it is the only thing.
I think that, like you said, they knew what the win con was, and I think that they did well in some instances in, you know, trying to play towards it. But Avalanche, you know, I hate to bring up the skill disparity, but it looks like they have more experience, I guess, trying kind of like dealing with that type of situation, being higher elo players, more people, you know, playing at that that higher level. They just have more experience, and I think that showed tonight, kind of like across the board.
Most definitely. The other player I want to highlight, so we've seen a lot coming out from Hooper. I really want to highlight Assist Ping. His roams, as we saw in the first week and this week as well with this game, I think he's someone to look out for. A lot of time supports don't get as much credit as they deserve, and I think Assist Ping is one of those players that really does deserve that credit. Just seeing the plays he makes around the map, the way he plays with his team, and I can only imagine the communication that he also has with his team to be able to make those plays is great. I'm looking forward to seeing more games from Avalanche moving forward. They are now sitting comfortably at 3-0 in this tournament. I don't know if there's any team that can knock them out now. I'm going to confirm this. So they'll be sitting at 3-0. Massive, correct me if I'm wrong, but they won their game as well, so they'll be sitting at 3-0. I'll have to confirm after tonight, after we record all of the scores here. Unless any of the teams that are currently sitting 2-1 proceed to win their next 2 games, and Avalanche dropping all 2 of their remaining games, I'd say that they are probably through the finals pretty comfortably. Same with Massive there. So it's going to be interesting seeing what happens there. They're sitting comfortably, like I said, at 3-0, as with Massive, so we'll see what happens.
You know, my closing thoughts on the night are I'm really, really sick and tired of seeing Wukong.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen so many monkeys in my entire life. But you know what? You jump into the Vespertine Vantage Cup, and that's exactly what you see.
Awesome. All right, and I think that's probably going to wrap it up for today. So we will jump over to our ending there. Thank you again, everyone, for coming out. Thank you for supporting us throughout this tournament, and thank you for being here. We're enjoying it. We love it, and we hope you're all enjoying it too. We will be back again next week at the same time, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. AEST, where we will highlight again Group 2, and then based on the results, we'll kind of decide in the final week of group stages who will be spectating in the 5th week. But again, come back next week, watch Group 2, see how that goes. But until then, we'll see you there. Thanks, everyone.
See you there.
The darkness hung its teeth in, and its mind has got me thinking. Sick and tired of feeling, so sick and tired of dreaming. 'Cause I always wake up sick and tired of believing that this pain will ever end. Oh, I've had enough. I've had enough. 'Cause it always comes back again. And I'm not even gonna pretend that it's okay. Constantly putting bad thoughts on replay. I really don't like living life this way, but I know that these things will never change. Tell myself to breathe